keeping it himself across the line and into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. That's a tight end wide open up the middle. There's the catch and the touchdown. Good evening and welcome to Pittsburg High School for tonight's SEK League matchup between the Pittsburg Purple Dragons and the Fort Scott Tigers. I'm Josh Lettner, alongside me Michael Kissel, and this is an old school SEK rivalry matchup between these two teams. This rivalry between Pittsburg and Fort Scott transcends all sports. These two teams meet in debate. It's a grudge match, and both of them would like to crush the other, and they'll get their opportunity here tonight on the hard court. Dragon girls coming into the game 6-5, 2-2 in SEK League play. Fort Scott is 6-1, coming in undefeated in SEK League play. Dragons coming off a 45-44 heart-stopping win against Blue Valley Southwest on Saturday. Fort Scott coming off of a 50-35 win at home against Labette County. And their lone loss this season, though, here in Crawford County against Frontenac back on January 6th. The Raiders came out on top in that one, 64-36. So could be the Crawford County jinx for Fort Scott tonight, and I'm sure everybody in purple and white is certainly hoping so. We do want to let you know that Pittsburgh Sports Live is presented by Crawcan, your community technology partner. Don't get hit by slow speeds and high prices. Get Gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas. Learn more about Crawcan's no-nonsense pricing and multi-gig internet at ckt.net. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back and fire up the Purple and White pregame show. On the other side of the break, you're watching Dragon basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find two links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Welcome back to Pittsburg High School. This is the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show brought to you by none other than Community National Bank and Trust, your neighbors, your partners, and your biggest supporters. From personal and business banking to mortgages, credit cards, and investments, CNB has the tools you need with the services you deserve. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, where community comes first. All right, we gave you a little bit of a heads up, set the scene for you earlier. Dragons girls coming into tonight's game 6-5, 2-2 in SEK League play. Fort Scott 6-1 on the season, 3-0 undefeated in SEK League play. They're coming off a 50-35 win against Lebec County on Tuesday night in Fort Scott. Their lone loss of the season coming back on January 6th against Frontenac here just north of here in Frontenac. And so the Dragons hoping that there's something in the water or in the air down here in Crawford County that kind of makes this Fort Scott squad mortal. And Dragons coming off a thrilling 1-point win on Saturday, 45-44 over Blue Valley Southwest. And that game, a short, like 24-hour turnaround from a road game at Chanute Friday night, which the Dragons won by like 20 plus. But nonetheless, they had to play it, and they had to endure 2 hours on the bus and then turn it around the next day, tip off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They came away with a gutsy 1-point win over a talented Blue Valley Southwest squad. And Dragons going to have to keep that defensive pressure that we saw Saturday going here tonight against Fort Scott. And let's go ahead and get into our keys of the game. Michael, it seems like we just repeat ourselves week in and week out with this girls team, but based on what we saw the first few weeks of the season and what we've seen since they finished up that Trinity Academy tournament out of Wichita, if they do a good job of taking care of the basketball themselves, they're going to force enough turnovers to give just about anybody a run for their money with the style of defense they play. And so I would think tonight's the same old story. You got to take care of the basketball, and you got to force the other team into turnovers.
Absolutely. Like you said, it's a grudge match. Both teams are looking to get out ahead early. So turnovers, high volume, high pressure is going to be a key for both teams tonight. Sorry. It's going to be a key for both teams tonight. So you're looking at Pittsburgh with a, the adaptability to turn the ball over when they get ever so pressured, no matter how much. So you're hoping that they can control that tonight and pressure Fort Scott quite a bit and get that jump out early and stay disciplined. Because we've seen later on in the games, most times second half, the Pitt State girls, the Dragons, they get pressured pretty early on. They get pressured pretty early on in the second half, and the turnovers start coming our way, start getting evening out that turnover battle. So if they can keep control of that, we should be pretty good.
All right, our keys to the game are brought to you by Vietti Auto Body and Alignment on the corner of 4th and Joplin in Pittsburgh since 1948 with John Holland and Bill Hunt now in the Vietti Alignment Shop. If it can be aligned, those dudes will align it. From golf carts and side-by-sides all the way up to F550s and small buses, they'll get it done. Schedule your appointment by calling Vietti Auto Body and Alignment, 620-231-6230. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, get you your starting lineups as we get closer to tip-off, about 12 and a half minutes away here in Pittsburgh. The Dragons and the Tigers, Southeast Kansas grudge match coming up on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GerardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Gerard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
Welcome back to Pittsburg High School, getting set for tonight's matchup between the Pittsburg Purple Dragons and the Fort Scott Tigers, an age-old rivalry that dates back to the Cretaceous period here in southeast Kansas, and these two teams have been going at it probably since the days of the covered wagons, and they just really like to beat each other at anything, and so both a lot of bragging rights on the line here tonight. And Fort Scott, both the girls and the boys, predicted at the beginning of the year to be one of the top two teams in the SEK League, and so these are big games for the Dragons if they want to make their mark here in league play. Came away with some big wins on the road Friday night against Chanute, and the Dragon boys won an overtime thriller by a bucket to get out of Chanute with the win, 52-50. The girls won their game going away by about 20 plus, I would say. But the boys gave a much tighter affair, and then the girls had their own dramatic game on Saturday, defeating Blue Valley Southwest 45-44. And the Dragons picked up a couple wins here over the last couple weeks, and these teams are really starting to come together under a couple of first-year head coaches. Jesse Moss for the boys, Tristan Gegg for the girls. And it was a rocky start over the first few weeks, but it's really, you could see it coalescing and coming together here down the stretch. And so it's going to be a test of those new systems that these athletes have been learning over the course of the season tonight. And we'll see how far they've come here tonight as they face off against a couple quality teams from Fort Scott. Let's go ahead and take a look at those starting lineups. First, for the Fort Scott Tigers, they'll start number 1, 5'6" senior Rayleigh Cowan. Number 2, a 5'6" senior Abby Gorman. Number 20, a 5'9" senior Claire McElroy. Number 24, a 5'9" senior Aubrey Yarrick. And number 25, a 5'9" senior JC Rogers. And a lot of seniors, all 5 seniors on that starting lineup for Fort Scott. So a lot of experience playing together for this team. And Pittsburgh's got some younger players in there, but some seniors as well. Let's take a look at starting lineups for the Dragons. They'll start number 2, senior Odessa Reed. Number 4, senior Anna Jorge. Number 11, senior Sophia Hertrich. And it's a toss-up. I believe they'll start number 21. Number 21, Angie Miller. She's been getting the start at the point guard position for the Dragons over the last few weeks. And then number 30, sophomore Mackenzie English. So some sophomores, some underclassmen in that lineup for the Dragons, but they've looked pretty good over the last couple weeks with that lineup. And then Angie Miller, of course, hitting a big buzzer beater at the end of the third quarter on Saturday against Blue Valley Southwest. Dragons won that game by 1 point, so that buzzer beater, that's a big shot, and you might have seen it on social media. Hopefully you saw our angle of it and not the one from the huddle camera where you can't actually see her shoot the shot, but it was a big one. The only downside of watching our angle is there's some guy losing his mind on the microphone. Don't know who that is, but we'll try to edit that out for the future. But a big win for the Dragons, a big shot for Angie Miller, and likely to see her in the starting lineup for the Dragons tonight. We'll step away for a quick break. We're about 6 minutes away from tip-off here in Pittsburgh. The Dragons and the Tigers coming up on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Welcome back to Pittsburg High. About 4 minutes away from tip-off between the Purple Dragons and the Fort Scott Tigers. I'm Josh Lettner, alongside me Michael Kissel. And we talked about it before, age-old rivalry between these teams. It goes way back to like the 1920s, I think, maybe before that in basketball, back when they used to have the peach basket and literal posts down in the floor. Back in that old little gym in the middle school, the old high school, it's in the basement. 19aughts basketball. But we've got a good one here tonight. Fort Scott coming in at 6-1. Their girls undefeated in league play. Dragons 6-5. 2-2 in league play, but they've really been coming together here over the last couple of weeks, including a 1-point win over Blue Valley Southwest here on Saturday. And so the Dragons have had a little bit of time to rest up from that one because they played Friday night in Chanute and then turned it around and played Saturday afternoon here. But fatigue didn't appear to be a factor in that one as the Dragons got up and down the floor, really played tough defense against Blue Valley Southwest and held the Timberwolves under 50 points and able to sneak out with a 45-44 win. Man, it came right down to the wire. It was a nip and tuck affair, and I was nervous. I don't know about you, but it was a tight one. But the Dragons come away with the big win there on Saturday, and then they're going to have to keep that rolling here tonight against the Fort Scott Tigers. And Michael, we talked about it before. Early in the season, Dragons plagued by turnovers. This team averaged about 30 a game to begin the season, but Saturday, only about 15 turnovers the entire game. They're really getting that cleaned up throughout the course of the season, and they're going to need to keep that going tonight against Fort Scott. And it'll be interesting to see if Coach Feeback has, or I'm sorry, that's the boys coach. Coach Steps has his girls pressure the Dragons at all, try to speed them up, because one thing that Blue Valley Southwest did not do for most of that game was pressure. They just dropped back into that half-court offense, or half-court defense, allowed the Dragons just to walk it up into the half-court. And where they have struggled has been teams try to speed them up with that full-court pressure, and we'll see if the Tigers bring that tonight. You can kind of expect that they might.
And it's not really even full court pressure at times. You could just sit a half court trap and
the trap. And Coach Gegg, what was it, against Chanute on Friday night, burned through all of her timeouts just simply to get her team out of traps. And so they get trapped in the half court. She called timeout to preserve the possession. And by the end of the game, she was trying to call 30s, but she was out of 30s and had to take full timeouts to preserve possessions. And so, she's probably talked to her squad about anticipating that trap. And we'll see what kind of defense Fort Scott's going to run against them tonight. You and I have not watched a lot of tape on Fort Scott, which is to say any at all. But I did see Fort Scott in action last year against Girard, and I don't recall them doing a lot of full court pressure. So that's no indicator of what will happen tonight. But I think we're going to have a national anthem down here, so we'll step away for a break, and we'll come back with tip-off here in Pittsburgh, the Dragons and the Tigers, coming up on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings, chicken and noodles, and so much more. And of course, their delicious homemade pies. Dine in or carry out available. Chicken Annie's of Girard has the best value, flavor, and service in the area. Stop in soon or call for catering. 620-724-4090.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh High School. Starting lineups being announced for tonight's matchup between the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons and the Fort Scott Tigers. We already did that. You have been informed.
For the Tigers, the senior, number 25, J.C. Rogers. And for the Purple Dragons, the sophomore, number 30, Kinsey English. Second for the Tigers is Michelle Scott. And for the Purple Dragons, Tristan Day.
We got the pep band here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a raucous atmosphere.
Officials for tonight's contest, Michael Monday.
Getting set to tip things off here in Pittsburgh. Our opening tip is presented by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie. Dirt's heavy, so trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. Call B&B Excavating, 620-724-2735. Fort Scott controls off the tip. This is Abby Gorman. Gets it over to Riley Cowan. We're underway here in Pittsburgh. McElroy with it. Shot on the way. No good. Rebound, however, comes down to Abby Yarrick, and her putback is good. Fort Scott out to an early 2-0 lead. Pittsburgh Trying to beat the pressure up the floor. Jorge with it. Picks up her dribble. Across the way to Angie Miller. Kicks it back out to Ana Jorge. Up top to Miller to the elbow. Out to Hertrich, who has trouble with the pass. She tracks down the loose ball. Back to English along the baseline to Odessa Reed. Her shot off the glass is good. And we're tied at 2. Dragons showing a little soft three-quarter court pressure. Fort Scott able to break it across the timeline into Gorman at the free throw line. She'll kick it back out, gets it back in the middle of the paint. Her pass deflected by Miller out of bounds. Angie hit her right in the hands. She couldn't come away with it. She's a little frustrated, but it'll stay with Fort Scott. Dragon defense pesky as ever. That one tipped out of bounds by Hertrick. And Fort Scott will try the inbound for a second time. McElroy to inbound. She gets it middle of the lane to Yarrick. Her shot no good. Rebound comes down to English. She's hassled by a couple of red jerseys, but comes out of it clean. Gives it up to Jorge. Over to Hertrick on the near wing. It's Angie Miller. Down low to Reed. High underhanded pass out to Jorge, and she had trouble with the pass, which led to a travel, and the Dragons turned it over. That's their first of the game. Give it back to Fort Scott. Tied at 2, 6.5 to play first quarter. McElroy with it, middle of the lane to Gorman. Turnaround jumper, no good, tipped around, and it ends up in the hands of Yarrick, and she has 4 points early, and the Tigers lead at 4-2. Dragons trying to beat the pressure. Jorge will handle it across half court for Pittsburgh. Now Miller with it. Top of the key to Hertrick. English finds Hertrick in the middle of the lane. Down low to Jorge. Reverse layup, no good. Sophia with the rebound, and we're going to have a held ball situation, and it'll stay with Pittsburgh. Miller to inbound. Over the top, gets it to English at the elbow. McKenzie into the lane, and she's fouled. And I think the Dragons are going to have to not fear the contact at all and push the issue offensively. Try and get Fort Scott into a bit of foul trouble if they can. That one's called on Rogers. That's her first team foul. Out to Miller, dribbles to her left and hits the little 15-footer. And Angie Miller's on the board tonight. We're tied at 4. 5.5 to play first quarter. Ahead to Gorman, trying to get it down low to Yarrick. Has it poked away. Throws it off the leg of English. Reed trying to save it in bounds, but had her toe on the line. It'll stay with the Tigers. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time to work for Fort Scott. McElroy to inbound from the baseline. Gets it into Yarrick, middle of the lane. Shot on the way, no good off the back iron. But McElroy able to jump in there between English and Reed to get the rebound. And a block by Reed on Yarrick, and then she's fouled by Yarrick. And I'm sorry, that's first on Yarrick, second team foul on Fort Scott.
What you're noticing is quite the contrary that we saw Saturday is the struggle on the offensive rebounds.
Yeah, Dragons owned the boards against Blue Valley Southwest, but tonight, so far, Fort Scott's been a little bit quicker to the loose balls and to the rebounds than the Dragons have, and Miller throws it away, trying to pass out of a double team, threw it too high for English. That's a second turnover for the Dragons. Early in this one, tied at 4, 5 minutes to play first quarter. Gorman with it, will give it up to Cowan, swinging around the horn. Now back up top to Cowan. Into the middle of the lane to Gorman. Over to Yarrick, and her shot is good. And if you're the Dragons, you might want to keep an eye on Yarrick, because she seems to be the Fort Scott wants to run their offense through her. Outside to Hertrich, steps back for a 3, no good. Looked like it was off the side of the rim, backboard, something. Quickly ahead, Yarrick with it again. Another shot attempt, gets her own rebound again. Dragons getting way out-rebounded on the defensive end of the floor as Cowan comes away with it. She's fouled. And she'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2. English picks up the foul. That's her first team foul on the Dragons.
Early on, Josh, what you're seeing is Pittsburgh is giving this very experienced Fort Scott team mistakes that they could just easily poach on.
Yeah.
Boxing out being a big outlier right now.
Yeah, Dragons. I think Fort Scott's, they're not as tall as Blue Valley Southwest was, but they are quicker to the ball, and the Dragons need to adjust to that on the boards. Cowan misses them both. Hartrich comes away with the rebound. Now English with it on the offensive end for the Dragons. She'll give it back up to Angie Miller. Back over to English. Deep 3 for McKenzie. And she drains it like she's standing in the driveway. Hits that one. The Dragons in front, 7-6. Yarrick with it on the far side. Thought about it. Now she kicks it over to Gorman. Steps inside. I thought that was a 2. The officials calling it a 3. And Dragons trailing by 2. 3:40 to play first quarter, excuse me. Miller with it on the left wing, gets the free throw line to English, kicks it out to Hertrick, open for 3, and Sophia hits it. 2 3-point buckets for the Dragons here in this first quarter. Gives the Pittsburgh a 1-point lead. Fort Scott quickly back the other way. Get it down low to Rogers on the baseline, working against English. Now Cowan back out to Rogers. She's double teamed. And there's a held ball, and it's going to stay with Fort Scott. Lorelei Clark into the game. She will replace Rayleigh Cowan, who will sit. Clark, a 5'9" sophomore. So the lone underclassman on the floor for Fort Scott right now. Shot no good. Rebound comes down to Jorge. Pittsburgh with it, leading by 1, under 3 to play first quarter. Jorge with it on the right wing, up top to Hertrick. Now over to English on that left wing. Back out to Miller. She thought about a deep 3. Instead, pass across court, and they're fortunate that didn't end up being a turnover. But it was deflected by a Fort Scott player. I think it was McElroy got a hand on that one. It'll stay with Pittsburgh. Jorge will sit. Adelie Gober into the game for the first time tonight. Over to Hertrick, trying to get it down low to English. Does, off the glass, no good. English gets a rebound. The putback is good, and the foul. They whistle that one on Mary Malone. That's her first. Third team foul on the Tigers. English's free throw off the back iron. Rebound tracked down by McElroy. McElroy into the lane. Finds Clark. And I didn't see, what was that call? It turns it over to Pittsburgh.
A jump ball, I believe.
Oh, a held ball, okay. Miller gets it, little soft full court pressure by Fort Scott. We'll see if they trap in the half court. They don't. They get it over to Hertrick. Down low to Reed, off the glass and good. Nice pass from Mackenzie English to find Odessa Reed streaking along the back baseline.
Triangle offense.
And the Dragons running the triangle. They're up by 5 with 2 minutes to play first quarter. McElroy with it. Gets it into the quarter, now down low. Shot blocked by English. She comes away with it. McKenzie pushing it up the floor, gets it ahead to Miller. Off the glass, no good. And no rebounders there for the Dragons. McElroy will handle it up the floor for Fort Scott. 1:40 to play first quarter. And a steal by Angie Miller ahead to Hertrick. Her shot no good. Dragons need the layup drill here tonight as they've missed a couple. And Hertrick looked like she was kind of avoiding some contact there, and you might have been better just to go right into it. Fort Scott with it now on the offensive end. Clark into the corner, shot no good. Rebound, Odessa Reed. Her outlet pass intended for English, poked away by Abby Gorman, but it'll stay with the Dragons. And that's where they get in trouble, is the outlet passes off of turnovers and rebounds. And the defender's not necessarily just going to drop back into the half court, and the Dragons need to take a beat and make sure that pass is there.
Yeah, they rush themselves. They need to slow down and make sure the pass is there.
Hertrick's going to handle it up the floor, up to Miller. It's deflected. There's a trap. Miller passes out of it, though. Gives it to English, and now they're setting up in the half court. Gober back out to Miller. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Adderley on the right wing. Gets it poked away, gets it back. And now not a good pass into the lane, trying to find Angie Miller. Threw it at her feet, and it goes out of bounds. That'll turn it over to Fort Scott. Third turnover of the night on the Dragons. Actually, I think that's the fourth. So the Dragons doing a little bit of three-quarter court pressure of their own. Fort Scott able to break it. Clark with it, top of the key. Down about 33 seconds. There's a 10-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Miller with another steal. Dragons come away with it. Reed ahead to Hertrick. Over to Gober. Her shot way off the mark, but Hertrick there for the rebound. Out to English. She'll step into a three off the mark. Rebound Reed. Tied up, and it should be Dragon ball by way of the possession arrow. Nope, it's Fort Scott ball by way of the possession arrow. And yeah, Dragons turn it over there. Not great passing off that trip down the floor either by the Dragons, and there were several near turnovers and then a tie-up. Fort Scott with it coming back the other way quickly. Gorman with it. They'll get it down low to Cowan. Throws it off the bottom of the backboard, but the official's going to say last touch by the Dragons. It'll stay with Fort Scott. 1.9 on the clock. Shot clock is off. And so they're going to have to come up with something quick. Is Fort Scott trying to get it in, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Dragon ball with 0.3 seconds. So you got a long way to go in 0.3 seconds, that's for sure if you're Pittsburgh. But you're happy with this result. Dragons lead it after one, 14-9. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching Dragon basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh High School. After a quarter, Dragon girls leading Fort Scott 14-9. And then Dragons have had their opportunities to increase that lead. And if they can be a little bit crisper with the passing, things looking good for Pittsburgh thus far. Gober with it, backing it down, gets it down to Hertrich. Off the glass and good for Sophia. She's got 5 points. And the Dragons lead it by 7. Rayleigh Cowan handling up the floor. I'm sorry, that's Abby Gorman handling up the floor for Fort Scott. She'll give it up to Clark. Back to Gorman. Now Clark for three, and she hits it. Big shot by Abby Clark. Lorelei Clark to get her team back into this one. The lead for the Dragons is 4. Jorge's shot no good. Gets her own rebound. Kicks it out to English. Over to Gober for 3. Her shot no good. Rebound Hertrick. And she's going to get tied up. It should stay with the... Nope, it'll be Fort Scott ball. It seems like every time I guess on a tie-up, I'm wrong. So somebody kicked that thing? What happened? Gorman handling it up the floor. Gives it up to Clark. Now up top to Cowan. Back over to Clark, who just made a three. Back out to Cowan. Dribbles. Shot on the way. No good. Rebound tipped around. Comes away to Mackenzie English. Gives it up to Anna Jorge. And Jorge will dribble out of trouble. Handle it up the floor for the Dragons. This is Kendall Elkamil with it. She just checked in. Natalie Gober gives it up to Hertrick. Back out to Jorge. Picks up her dribble. Now to English at the elbow. Back to Jorge. Throws it off of Clark because she was falling out of bounds with it. It'll save the possession for the Dragons. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kendall Elkamil to inbound from the baseline. Elkamil gets it into English. And she's whistled for a walk. She had a little help. A lot of contact led to that walk, but the official going to whistle the turnover on the Dragons. That's their fifth. 6:15 to play, a 4-point game. Dragons had an opportunity there. And in a game like this, every possession counts. If you're Pittsburgh, there's a turnover. English comes away with it, gives it up to Hertrick. Back out to English, thought about a three, kicks it up top to Jorge. Back over to Hertrick, she'll take the three. In and out, battle for the rebound, and they'll throw it off the leg of Gober. And that was Rogers who came down with the rebound, makes the heads-up play to save the possession for Fort Scott. 5:51 to play first half, Dragons by 4. We're going to get some subs into the game. Hertrick and Gober will sit. Angie Miller and Odessa Reed back into the game for Pittsburgh. So now you got your original, nope. It is Elkamil, Miller, Jorge, English, and Reed on the floor right now for the Dragons. This is Kipton Hunsinger into the game for the first time tonight for Fort Scott. She'll give it up to Lorelei Clark, and almost a turnover by Fort Scott. They're able to track it down, is Hunsinger. Now she gets it back top of the key and will give it up to Clark. Dribbling, has it tipped by Jorge, who outraces Hunsinger for it. And Anna's gonna be whistled for a double dribble. Jorge gets excited sometimes and the ball handling abandons her. That time they turn it over. That's the 6th turnover of the game for the Dragons. Jorge will sit. And trying to see who came into the game for her. I think it's Hertrick.
Yep.
Yeah. Gorman with it. Gets it over to Hunziker on the wing. Now Gorman on the far side working against Miller. Crosses her over, picks up her dribble, kicks it out to Clark, working against Elkamil, who over pursues. And then nobody cuts off the dribbler, and Clark able to get to the bucket. A nice move by Lorelei Clark. She's got 5 points, and it's a 2-point game. The Dragons haven't scored in a New York minute. And there's not a good pass again from Miller to English. Trying to force it in there. There's a held ball, and it's kind of a waste of that possession arrow as the Dragons will keep it. But they had it to begin with some crisper passing. That wouldn't have been a thing. Miller across half court. Gives it up to Elkamil. Now to Reed, has it slapped away in the lane and got caught. And Odessa pokes it away, but it'll stay with Fort Scott.
Yeah, Pitt State kind of having some rather stupid turnovers, just doing something they can control, but
yeah, it's
hurting them offensively.
They're streaky with the turnovers. They'll take care of it for a while, and then they'll have a streak where they just can't seem to take care of the basketball. And right now we're in one of the valleys instead of the peaks. Gorman with it to her right, now back to her left. She'll just step into a three and shoots one over the extended arm of Hertrick.
And that's just someone you can't leave the hip of.
No, Miller forcing it down the floor quickly. She'll back it out now, gives it up to Elkamil, top of the key. They'll swing it over to Hertrick on the right wing. Now Reed way off the mark with that shot from the baseline, but Miller right there to get the loose ball. Gives it up to Elkamil. She'll pull the trigger on a three, way off the mark. And the rebound comes down to Gorman. Ahead to Clark with the dribble, working against Elkamil. And then cut off that time. Yarrick comes away with it and give it back up to Gorman. And Fort Scott will kind of reset the offense with 19 seconds on the shot clock. Gorman near side to Clark. She'll take a deep three and hits it. And you got to honor that if you're the Dragons. And Coach Gegg not happy. She'll take a timeout, a full timeout. We'll take it as well. Dragons trailing by 3 minutes to play first half. You're watching Dragon basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Back underway here in Pittsburgh. Odessa Reed beats Fort Scott's defense down the floor. She's fouled on the baseline and will head to the line to shoot a pair for the Dragons. They're going to whistle that foul on J.C. Rogers. That's her second. First team foul on Fort Scott in the second quarter, and that's the first team foul, period, in the second quarter, and we got 2:54 to play as Reed hits the first.
Yeah, with how physical this game has been for both sides, especially Fort Scott, how talented they have been, being resilient and not causing fouls has been very impressive.
Second shot on the way for Reed, and she hits them both. 6 points for Odessa Reed. She came to play today. And back to a one-point game. Dragons showing a little bit of full court pressure. Fort Scott able to break it. This is McElroy. Gives it up and into the lane to Gorman. Her shot no good, but the rebound comes down to McElroy. Her putback no good. Can the Dragons get a defensive rebound? And it's going to be a held ball situation. It will stay with Fort Scott. There's no foul call there. It's just a held ball, I believe.
The lack of boxing out.
Yeah, McElroy to inbound again for Fort Scott. And lots of chances at this for the Tigers. The Dragons, if you don't come away with rebounds, you're going to have to play a lot of defense. And into the lane, got a held ball there, and it will be Dragon ball as Angie Miller comes in and ties up Kipton Hunziker, who had really good position on the block. So if Miller doesn't come down and tie her up, pretty high percentage shot opportunity for Hunziker. Miller will handle it up the floor for the Dragons offensively, and Hunziker is going to foul Mackenzie English near the half court on the big P logo out there.
You got the call. Second team foul. Keep going at her, Kipton.
Hertrick gets it into English. He gets it back. Trying to find Reed, middle of the lane. Odessa can't handle the pass, a little bit high and behind her. Yarrick going to get trapped and timeout. Fort Scott, as Coach Steps called a 30-second timeout to save the possession. We'll stay right here. 2:08 to play first half. Dragons trailing it by 1. And it's been a back and forth affair here early.
I want to say it feels like we're kind of looking into a mirror with this Fort Scott team. They take the ball, their hands to the ball just as well as we do. They rebound right now better than we do. They shoot the ball well behind the arc like we do sometimes. It's a pretty interesting match to watch.
Yeah, a lot of these SEK League games, it's just a possession or two difference between these teams. And, we saw it a couple years ago with the Chiefs. You're winning 15 games, but you're winning them by a total of about 30 points. And there have been some close ones this year for the Dragons. They're coming off a 1-point win. That one poked away. And another tie-up. This is the game of the possession arrow, and it's going to stay with Fort Scott. Is that Dragon defense pesky on the inside, very active hands getting into the passing lane, and also to the dribble. Is that Dragon's able to poke it away that time and create a held ball situation. McElroy to inbound from the baseline. The official's going to talk some things over with the game officials at the scorers table. I don't know what's going on here.
Shot clock, I believe.
Yeah, and it should be, the possession arrow should favor, well, when they inbound it will favor Pittsburgh. So McElroy to inbound for Fort Scott from the baseline, looking around. Gets it into Yarrick, back to McElroy. She can pull the trigger on a three, too strong. Rebound comes down to Hertrick, but she's battling with Hunziker for it. And it's going to stay with Fort Scott. And, man, just getting to the loose balls and the rebounds today for the Dragons has been a struggle. And when you get there, hanging on to it. We've seen a couple times Fort Scott's been able to just rip it away. From the Dragons, you got to be a little more aggressive getting to those loose balls if you're Pittsburgh. 1:40 and counting. McElroy with it, top of the key. English out there to pick her up. McElroy not really sure what her teammates are doing, so she just takes it to the baseline herself. She's tied up by Odessa Reed, and it will be Dragon ball off of the tie-up.
You can see Fort Scott having a hard time running the offense now because Angie Miller, ever since number 2, Fort Scott made those pair of threes, she's been on her hip ever since, and she can't seem to get free, so she can receive the ball and run the offense.
Miller handling up the floor right now, being picked up by Clark. A little lob pass to the free throw line to Odessa Reed, puts it on the floor, kicks it out to Jorge, who can't handle the pass. The Dragons turn it over. Just the passing nor the catching has been on here in this first half of the Dragons. And that was a catchable pass for Jorge. I just think she took her eye off of it, looking at the defender, and lost it. You got to be crisp with the passes and sure-handed with the receptions, and the Dragons really haven't been either in this first half, and it's cost them. It's a close game. You get a couple of those possessions back, Dragons will be leading here. Instead, trailing by 1 with under a minute to play. Ball deflected out of bounds. It will stay with Fort Scott. McElroy to inbound. Gets it in. Working against English. And throws it out there. Gorman able to track it down for Fort Scott. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gorman drives right down the lane. Dish over to Yarrick. Open look. No good. They're going to whistle an over the back foul on English. Which is, I mean, not a lot of contact there.
It's par for the course right now.
That's 2 on English. She's the only player with any fouls for the Dragons. So McKenzie going to sit. And that's last 38 seconds without English is in kind of danger zone here for the Dragons as Rayleigh Cowan checks back into the game, replacing Hunziker. Pass to Gorman at the elbow, working against Miller. She kicks it out to Clark. Now outside to Cowan, drives baseline, back outside to Clark with Hertrick guarding her, and they're going to whistle Hertrick with the foul, and it's a footwork foul, and we've seen Sophia kind of pick some of those up this season when she gets caught leading one way and needs to go the other. 24.7, that's her first. Fort Scott to inbound once again. They get it into Yarrick, working against Reed. Kicks it back outside. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound, though, Fort Scott. The putback and the foul for Cowan. And there it is again. Dragons not boxing out. And a guard with the rebound. and a putback. They whistle that one on Gober. That's her first. And as soon as I said English is the only player with any fouls, Hertrick and Gober pick one up each. Shot no good, tipped around. But again, Fort Scott to the rebound. Scoop layup no good. Reed comes up with it for the Dragons, gets it out to Miller. Back to Reed, now Miller with it. 10 seconds and counting, lost her dribble. Oh my goodness. And here comes Fort Scott the other way. Shot no good though. Rebound comes down to Jorge. And you can tell there's a lot of frustration for the Dragons, and rightly so, at the end of the first half. Pittsburg trailing by 3, 21-18. We'll take a quick break and be back with the GN Bank Halftime Show. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh High School at the half. The Dragons girls trailing Fort Scott 21-18. This is the GN Bank Halftime Show, brought to you by GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for more than 100 years. Whether it's personal, business, or agricultural needs, trust the team at GN Bank. Find out more at gn-bank.com. Well, Dragons trailing it by 3 here at the half, but a lot of unforced errors for Pittsburgh in this game. The defense has been pretty good, but just offensively, the passing hasn't been crisp, and the ball handling hasn't been crisp at times either. And they've committed, by my count, 9 turnovers in this first half. And you take 2 or 3 of those away, and this is a very different basketball game, as the Dragons kind of doing Fort Scott some favors in this first half, and they're trailing at 21-18. Let's go ahead and take a look at the scoring totals for the first half. This Eye on the Game brought to you by Canar Eye Care. As we take a look back at the first half, Canar Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. With Canar Eye Care with locations in Pittsburg and Girard, it's here to help their valued customers. Learn more at CanarEyeCare.com. All right, first for Fort Scott, they're led in scoring by Lorelei Clark. She's got 7. And then Aubrey Yarrick and Abby Gorman with 6 points each. And a bucket by Rayleigh Cowan to round out the scoring for Fort Scott. For the Dragons, they're led in scoring by Odessa Reed. She's got 6. Sophia Hertrich with 5. Mackenzie English with 5. Angie Miller with a bucket to round out the scoring for the Dragons. Dragons led it 14-9 after 1 and trail it here at the half 21-18, meaning they got outscored 12-4 in that second quarter, which is pretty disastrous actually for the Dragons, as turnovers reared their ugly heads and really helped Fort Scott get back into this game. And Dragons got no one to look at but themselves. They're playing good defense, just not take care of the basketball on the offensive end. And that allowed Fort Scott to get right back into it. And that's the story here at the half. We'll step away for a quick break. We'll come back, talk a little bit about the boys matchup coming up in the nightcap tonight. Dragon boys coming off a big win overtime Friday night in Chanute. Fort Scott coming off a win over Labette County. We'll talk more about it on the other side of the break. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Thanks to your support, Canar Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Canar Eye Care, the clear choice for your...
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Our whole vision of becoming the four-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Welcome back to a rockin' Pittsburg High School. We got the pep band here tonight, and it really adds something to the basketball atmosphere here in this gymnasium, and feels like a rivalry game. And at the half, Dragon girls trailing it 21-18. I had Fort Scott with 22, and so did the Fort Scott broadcast crew. But it wouldn't be a rivalry game if we didn't shave a point, you know? And so now Fort Scott with the ball to start the third quarter. Cowan with it. Over to McElroy, trying to get it down low, and they do to Rogers. She kicks it out, mishandled by Yark, but she's able to track down the loose ball. Now into the corner, shot on the way from Gorman, in and out. And the long rebound comes down to Miller, who's going to race it up the floor. Gets it over to English. Straight away, three-point attempt is good for Mackenzie English. She's got 8 points, and we're tied at 21. Fort Scott quickly into their half-court offense. Gorman over to Cowan. Back over to McElroy. Gorman gonna drive baseline, picks up her dribble outside to McElroy, and then there's a foul called as she drove into the lane. See who they get that one on. It's on the floor. It's not a shooting foul. They're gonna whistle it on Angie Miller. That's her first team foul on the Dragons third quarter. McElroy to inbound. Trying to force it into Yarrick. It's tipped away, stolen by English, ahead to Jorge, off the glass and good on a Jorge's first field goal of the night. And the Dragons lead it by a bucket. There's a foul on the other end. They're going to whistle Odessa Reed with the foul. That's her first.
Second team foul.
Yarrick with it on the inbound, gets it ahead to Gorman. Now back to Cowan. The Dragons going to back off of the pressure. Cowan with it into the middle of the lane to Gorman. Her shot blocked by English. Hertrick comes away with the loose ball. And Sophia will give it up to Angie Miller. The Dragons will walk it up the floor. 6:19 to play, third quarter. Dragons by a bucket after trailing by 3 at the half. English with it, working baseline, kicks it out to Jorge. Three-point shot on the way is good. Man, that one went around and around and finally went down. And that's 5 points for Jorge, all in this third quarter. Timeout, Fort Scott. It's a full timeout. We'll take it as well. 6:03 to play, third quarter. Dragons by 5. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh High School. 6:03 to play, third quarter. Dragons by 5 on a Jorge. I believe that was her first three-point bucket of the season.
Unofficially, of course.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to go around and out for a moment, but it went in. Dragons by 5, as that one's lost out of bounds. As Rogers hit the floor, I think maybe lost it off of her foot. And it'll be Dragon basketball, 5:58 to play. Pittsburgh by 5. Adelie Gober into the game. She gives it up to Jorge on the right wing, up top to Hertrick. Left wing to Reed, down low to English, dribbles into the lane, scoop layup, no good. McKenzie gets her own rebound, kicks it out to Hertrick, out to Gober, straightaway 3 off the back iron, no good. And Dragons come away with the long rebound. They get it down low to Odessa Reed, up top to Jorge, over to Hertrick. They're moving it. English into the lane to Gober, has trouble with the pass, and she's tied up, and it will. And well, we had a timeout, a 30-second timeout as Coach Gegg saved the possession. That's a heads-up timeout there by your coach, because there wasn't much time to make that decision.
That was a quick draw.
I think she could see, hey, things are going to kind of going sideways here. Better be ready to call a timeout, and she did. The Dragons saved the possession. They're leading by 5, 5:23 to play, third quarter, 21 seconds on the shot clock. So the Dragons with plenty of time to get a good shot coming out of the timeout.
Be a big one at that.
Yeah, the pep band really adds a good amount of racket in here. Huh?
So you can hear every bit of it.
Yeah. Mr. Cooper Neal, music teacher for Pittsburgh High. Odessa Reed gets it off the glass and good for Reed. She's got 8 points. Dragons by 7. Fort Scott quickly back the other way. The pass intended for Yarrick. She couldn't handle it. Out of bounds. Turnover Tigers. And that'll give it back to the Dragons. Leading by 7 with 5:11 to play third quarter. And we'll get our score and clock straightened out here in just a moment. Trust me, Dragons leading at 28-21. You won't have to take my word for it for long. Hertrick with it, gives it to Jorge, top of the key, almost walked with it, has it poked away, gets it back, she's trapped. Could have just thrown it over the top. That was really discombobulated looking by Jorge in the corner there. It will stay with the Dragons.
Substitution for the Tigers, number 10, Kitchen Hunsiker.
And Jorge will inbound from the baseline for Pittsburgh. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it into Mackenzie English. Spinning off the glass. She's fouled. And English will head to the line to shoot a pair. See who they whistle the foul on. They got it on Kipton Hunsiker. That's her second.
First team foul. At the line for the Purple.
This is the first trip to the free throw line tonight for Mackenzie English. Man, that one touched almost every part of the rim, including the front, but it goes down. 9 points for English. Dragon lead is 8, trying to make it 9 right here. And she does. English with 10 points. The Dragon lead is 9. And Fort Scott gets it in as Abby Gorman going to drive it up the floor, then slams on the brakes, and they'll set up the half court. 4.5 to play. Third quarter, Dragons by 9. They'll swing it around the horn. Hunsiker back to Cowan, now back to Hunsiker. They get it to Gorman, working against Odessa Reed, drives baseline. Nifty move by Gorman to get her shot. She's got 8, and the lead is down to 7 for the Dragons. Pass ahead finds Hertrick. She's fouled by Gorman. That's her first. Second team foul on the Tigers, and that'll should send Hertrick to the line to shoot 2, and it will.
At the line for the Purple Dragons, number 11, Sophia Hertrick.
Kendall Elkamil and Briley Mantooth getting set to check into the game for Pittsburgh after this first free throw by Hertrick, which off the iron, no good.
For the Purple Dragons, Briley Mantooth and Kendall Elkamil.
Reed and Gober will sit for the Dragons. Second free throw is good for Hertrick. She's got 6. The Dragon lead is 8. Gorman with it, working against Hertrick. They'll swing it around the horn. The shot on the way from Clark, no good. Tipped around, and it's going to be out of bounds. Last touched by Jorge, and it will stay with Fort Scott. So the Dragons again have trouble coming up with the defensive rebound, and Fort Scott's going to get another chance. Gorman gets it in. Out to Clark on the right wing, into the middle of the lane to Gorman. She's going to put it on the floor. Mantooth trying to stay in front of her. And she'll give it up to Clark way up top with Elkamil in front of her. Hunziker with it. Now back to Clark, who puts it on the floor heading baseline. They'll get it down to Yarek. Had a good look at it. And again, the Tigers come away with an offensive rebound. 3-point attempt for Clark is good. And that's why you box out. The Dragons giving Fort Scott 4 opportunities on that trip down the floor because they can't come up with a rebound. Jorge gives it up to Hertrick, top of the key. Now Mantooth with it. Elkamil, Jorge down to English. Cross court to Hertrick, dangerous pass. Sophia comes away with it. Out to Jorge, down the lane. She's fouled and threw up a little circus layup after the contact. Of course, that was no good, and they're going to get. They got Yarek with the foul. That's her second. And the third team foul on Fort Scott. That'll send Anna Jorge to the line to shoot a pair. Jorge with 5 points, all those in this third quarter. First free throw off the backboard, no good. Angie Miller checks into the game, replacing Sophia Hertrick. So the 5 on the floor for the Dragons are Mantooth, Elkamil, Jorge, Miller, and English. Second shot off the glass is good for Anna Jorge. She's got 6 points, all of those in this third quarter. The Dragons hanging on to a 6-point lead, 2:53 to play in the third.
Why do you use that backboard?
Huh?
The backboard. I like how she uses that for a free throw. It's like, they put it up there for a reason.
If it works, it works. Yeah, they're going to give it to you. You might as well use it, right?
Exactly.
Into the corner. Clark got away with a walk. Kicks it into the lane. Shot no good. Reed with the rebound, but it's taken away from her. And a block. Oh, my gosh. They're going to whistle Odessa Reed with the foul. That'll be her second. And that'll send J.C. Rogers to the free throw line to shoot 2 for Fort Scott. This is Rogers' first trip to the stripe. She is scoreless thus far tonight. First free throw is good. There's one thing these Fort Scott girls can do. Every single one of them seems like they can shoot.
All their jump shots look fluid. There's no doubt about that.
And she drills them both. Rogers with 2. It's a 4-point lead now for the Dragons, and they almost throw it away. I mean, that was never an open pass. Defenders wearing red. I mean, they got to stand out a little bit. Miller, top of the key, dribbling around. She'll give it up to Elkamil. Thought about a 3. Now she'll drive into the lane. Kendall lost her dribble. And Gorman handling up the floor, and wide open for 3 as Clark steps into it. Hey, you might want to make sure you know where she is. She's got her third 3-point bucket of the night, 13 points. And the Dragons content to let her shoot out there from the 3-point line. Miller's shot off the back iron, no good. Long rebound comes down to Hunziker, and that was a very fast possession for the Dragons. And they're holding on to a 1-point lead. If they can get a stop here, you may want to find Clark out there in the corner and get a hand in her face. Gorman with it. Out. 3-point shot on the way from McElroy. No good. Rebound, English. She'll give it up to Angie Miller. 1:14 to play third quarter. Dragons by the slimmest of margins. Miller driving off the glass, off the mark. Angie hits the floor hard. Now numbers for Fort Scott going the other way. Here comes Gorman. Good look down low as she hits Hunziker for the layup and the foul. That's the first bucket for Hunziker, and I think they're going to get Mackenzie English with the foul. Nope, they got Kendall Elkamil. That's her first. And the Dragons, no more fouls to give in this quarter, but only a minute left to play. Perhaps they can go 60 seconds without committing a personal foul. Miller will sit, Elkamil will sit, Jorge back in the game along with Hertrick.
Well, big run by Forrest Scott, which I think can be credited towards Pittsburgh's, I would say, poor offensive decision making. Didn't really have a purpose with the basketball in their hands, it felt like, for the last couple minutes there.
And she hits the free throw. And Fort Scott shooting the lights out from the free throw line. Dragons do well not to foul because Fort Scott's been making them pay. Jorge down the lane, elevates, no good, foul. And Anna will head to the line for the second time tonight. She's 1 of 2 from the stripe. They whistle that one on J.C. Rogers. That's her third.
At the line, for the Dragons, number 4, Anna Jorge.
First one off the mark for Jorge. Dragons have been hanging on to this 1-point lead. Jorge makes it 2. Or I'm sorry, we're tied at 34 now. Excuse me, Fort Scott had the 1-point lead off of the 3-point buckets earlier. Mantooth in front of Clark. They're working it around the perimeter. McElroy with it, kicks it back out, across the way to Hunziker. Now they're going to whistle the foul on the floor, not a shooting foul for Fort Scott, as everybody in red and black really wanted the shot to count, but it's waved off by the official. And
Her second personal, 4th team foul.
They whistle the foul on who? Now they're conferring with the game officials at the scores table. I'm not entirely sure who the foul's on. Who is the foul on? No idea. We'll figure it out later, I guess. That pass deflected, and Odessa Reed comes away with it. Dragons with it, 25 seconds and counting to play in this third quarter. Dragons trailing by 1, 34-33. They had it 34-34 just moments ago, but now the Dragons somewhere in there lost a point. Hertrick can't handle the pass and loses it out of bounds. And again, you get the instance where the receiver takes their eye off the ball for a second, can't secure the catch, and you turn it over to Fort Scott, leading by 1, 7.5 to play third quarter.
Yeah, it's just little things that are taking Pittsburgh's spot right now. They're just shooting themselves in the foot.
Quickly ahead to Cowan. They'll swing it around to Clark. She'll pull the trigger on a 3 because of course she will. Shot no good. Hertrick with the rebound, and that'll do it for the third quarter. After 3, the Dragons trail it 34-33. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back. You're watching Dragon Basketball.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
The Dragons outscored Fort Scott 15-13 in that third quarter, but they still trail it by 1, 34-33. And turnovers, the problem all year for Pittsburgh, and that I could point to that and getting dominated on the offensive boards. Or I'm sorry, the will be Pittsburgh's defensive board, have really been the difference in this game thus far. Pittsburgh not taking very good care of the basketball and then not securing defensive rebounds. Fort Scott's had multiple chances every time down the floor, it seems. And the Dragons trailing by 1 as we start the final quarter. Fort Scott with the ball to begin the fourth. Clark with it. She wants to step back for a 3. And she does. Off the front iron. The rebound controlled by Jorge. Almost carried it. I think she got away with one there. Fort Scott's coaches wanted to carry. Now here comes Anna back the other way. Picks up her dribble, free throw line. Down low, finds English, off the glass and good. Good look to find Mackenzie English. She's got 12 points. The Dragons back up by 1, 7:21 to play. Gorman cut off by Jorge. She'll back it out. Gets the play call from Coach Steps. Now back over to Cowan on the wing. Down low, finds Clark. And almost thrown away as Reed got a hand on it, but she couldn't control it. It'll stay with Fort Scott. Riley Cowan will inbound from in front of the Tiger bench. 14 seconds on the shot clock for the Tigers. She'll get it into Gorman. Gorman, the talented point guard for Fort Scott. The Dragons really trying to keep a lid on her tonight. Good luck with that. Jorge cuts her off that time. She picks up her dribble. And Hertrick over pursued. There's a shot clock violation. Good defense by the Dragons.
Resounding defense of Jorge there. Just sliding in front of her man for, 25 seconds it felt like?
Yeah.
And no progress.
Jorge will get the inbound pass. Cowan picks her up. She dribbles into a trap, but kicks it ahead to Mantooth, who turns around and hoists a 3. No good. Rebound English. The putback is no good, but she's fouled. And I think they're going to whistle this one on Hunziker. And they do. That's her 3rd. So Hunziker and Rogers with 3 fouls each for Fort Scott. That's their first team foul in the final quarter here. And English to shoot 2 for the Dragons.
Offensively, when Pittsburgh can get the ball to English down low on a pass or a missed shot, and she can rebound it, she's been unstoppable.
English hits the first. That's her 13th point of the ball game, going for her 14th right here. And she drills it. 14 points for Mackenzie English. Dragons by 3. 6.5 to play. A long way to go for Pittsburgh. Trying to hand Fort Scott their first loss in SEK League play. Clark with it way outside. Great. Mantooth picks her up. Clark driving down the lane. Throws it off the bottom of the backboard, and Mantooth comes away with it for the Dragons. Pass it around now. Jorge will handle it into the half court. Jorge with it, looking around, gives it up to Mantooth. She'll square up a 3. Yeah! Briley Mantooth, first bucket of the night for her, and it's a big one. Dragons up by 6 with 6 minutes to play. Gorman on the other end, kicks it over to Hunziker. Her shot no good. Rebound English. Not a good outlet pass. They just need to slow it down. Don't force the outlet pass. And English steps on the line trying to save it. And it will stay with Fort Scott. And another chance for the Tigers. And the Dragons just, I mean, Christmas is over.
Yeah. Another chance they're going to run there and just somebody just threw it away. Such a momentum swing.
Hunziker to throw it in, gets it into Yarrick, working on English. She'll kick it out to Gorman, middle of the lane. Now out to Rogers. And a turnover, and Hertrick comes away with it for the Dragons. Don't get in a hurry. Jorge will handle it up the floor. Now she slows it down, working in the half court, on an end of the lane. Twisting back the other way, gives it up to Mantooth. Another 3 on the way. Way off the mark. English with the rebound, put back no good. Second shot no good. And Dragons come away empty that time. Quickly back the other way. Here comes Gorman. Free throw line. Kicks it over. Shot on the way for Clark. For Rogers, and that's her first field goal of the night. And it cuts the Pittsburgh lead to 4 with 5:03 to play in the game. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. And again, Dragons just, when they really need to take care of the basketball, sometimes they have real problems with that. And it's hurting them here tonight. But turnovers occur. They're going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the unforced and very preventable ones that drive you crazy. And you've seen a few of those tonight from the Dragons. And it usually happens when they get in a hurry. And I think the most common hand signal out of Coach Gegg this year is slow it down. They're trying to tamp down
the thing about Pittsburgh.
The speed.
They get on such good offensive runs, but when they're on the offensive run, that adrenaline comes up and they get so quick. They speed themselves up, and that just allows Fort Scott or any other team to counteract and just go and run themselves.
Hertrick gets it into English. Plenty of time on the shot clock. 5 minutes to play in the game. Dragons need to get a good possession and a high percentage shot here. They did last time down the floor, but English couldn't get it to fall within 2 feet of the bucket. Had a couple shots at it. And now a held ball situation as Jorge held on to it way too long. And defense able to tie her up. Heads up play by Riley Cowan. Possession arrow favors the Dragons, so they'll keep it. But now on the next tie up, it goes to Fort Scott. Mantooth to inbound in front of the Pittsburgh bench. Gets it into Angie Miller. Miller kicks it back to Odessa Reed. Into the lane, off the glass, and good for Reed. She's got 10 points. And the Dragon lead back up to 6 with 4:36 to play. Out to Cowan, into the middle of the lane. Shot on the way is good, and the foul. And if you're Mantooth, you can't let her get that shot off from right there. You can't, no soft fouls in the lane, and Mantooth just a touch foul there, and Cowan gets the shot to fall, and she'll head to the free throw line for the shot at the three-point play.
And the line for the
defensive breakdown there. Now to get into the lane, you got to be stronger than that. If they're going to commit a foul, commit a foul.
Yep. It's going to be a Bear, be a Grizzly. And the free throw rattles around and rolls in for Cowan. She completes the three-point play. The Dragon lead is 3. English down the lane, puts it up, misses it. Rebound Reed, and the putback is good. Odessa Reed showing up on the offensive boards for the Dragons. And the lead back up to 5 with 4.5. Let's see that defense here for Pittsburgh. Cowan with it, up top to Yarrick. Looking around, now back to Cowan, and she loses it out of bounds. Fort Scott turns it over, and so both fan bases have a reason to be a little bit frustrated and scratch their heads here. Some unforced turnovers by both teams. Miller with it, cross half court, driving down the lane, almost had it poked away, gets it back. Hertrick with it to the elbow. Now out to English, over to Jorge on the far side. Hannah picks up her dribble at the elbow, looking for some help, and walked with it. And there's another unforced turnover as your pivot foot has to stay your pivot foot. And it's when they get in a hurry, particularly Jorge. When she gets in a hurry, look out. 5 points is the lead for the Dragons, 3:38 to play. Here comes Gorman back the other way, working on Miller. Driving baseline, spinning, she'll kick it out to Yarrick. Straight away now for Rogers. Out to McElroy. Now back Rogers with it, working on English, has to pick up her dribble. She'll kick it back over to McElroy, guarded by Jorge. She gets around her, and that pass deflected out of bounds off the hands of Yarrick. There were only 2 seconds left on the shot clock, so Yarrick was going to have to throw something up if she was able to catch that one.
Outstanding defensive possession by Pittsburgh there. Held for 33 seconds, of course, the turnover. They were looking at that shot clock violation there. So when you're up by 5 points in such a close game, that defensive possession is so valuable.
Jorge gets it over the top to Hertrick. Now back to Miller. Across the timeline, guarded by Cowan, almost lost it. Now to English, who drives the baseline, gets it over to Reed. Her shot rolls off, no good, tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Dragons. They're going to say it was last touched. by J.C. Rogers. And not a popular call with the folks in red over here behind us as we're set up on the visitor side.
They've been very verbal.
Yeah. Miller will inbound for the Dragons. Gets it over the top to English. Out to Jorge. She'll put it on the floor. Dishes to Hertrick. Sophia, wild underhand layup. Not a good looking shot, but Jorge comes away with it. She's fouled. Driving to the bucket. They're going to whistle this one on Lorelei Clark. I think that's her first.
Always forced out for such a hard time staying in front of Jorge's speed and most importantly her physicality.
Yep.
She's been impossible to guard when she attacks the basket.
Jorge's not had a good night at the free throw line for the Dragons as she misses the first here. But she has usually missed the first and hit the second, so. And the second one off the back iron as well. Tipped around, saved in by Odessa Reed. English can't handle the save, and the Dragons going to turn it over.
Almost a great second effort there by Reed. She's really been turning up the second half.
Well, once again, Dragons leading by 5. You come away with a defensive stop. 2.5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. If you're Fort Scott, you can't really afford to use the entire shot clock like they did the last time down the floor. McElroy with it. Over to Gorman. She's going to put it on the floor. Drives off the glass. No good. Gets the rebound. They're going to have a held ball. And Mackenzie English took an elbow right to the bridge of the nose. And that never feels good. I'm going to tell you right now. And English, fortunate she's not bleeding from that one because that was a shot.
Oh, she ate that one.
Yeah, she got right up, so she's okay. But it's going to stay with Fort Scott. Clark to inbound. And now Gorman with it again with Miller in front of her. Body's hitting the floor. And Cowan gets the pass inside, but English comes away with the rebound for the Dragons. And they're going to whistle a blocking foul against Rogers. That's her fourth.
Pittsburgh bringing the physicality late in the game right now. Jorge shoving her defender down the corner, and English just running through a defender. Get out of their personal space, they say.
Yeah. You got a timeout, Dragons, and I didn't see the indication. It's a 30. We'll stay right here. Yeah, and we'll try and get our, in the meantime, get our scoreboard and clock. I don't know why it keeps getting knocked off. I don't know what we're doing. We'll get it fixed, though. 2 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Dragons leading it by 5 over the Fort Scott Tigers, but this is by no means a secure lead because Fort Scott has exhibited the ability to shoot and hit three-point buckets all throughout this game. So Dragons need to play really good perimeter defense. Coming away with a rebound wouldn't hurt either. And the rebounding's been better in the second half than it was in the first half. But man, there's everything at this point is clutch for Pittsburgh.
Just late in the game, you got to do little things right. You can't give such a good team, a good shooting team like Fort Scott these second chance opportunities on the rebounds. You cannot let them shoot more than one three-point shot in a possession because they've proven they can knock them down.
Dragons have the ball coming out of the timeout. Hertrick to inbound, gets it to Miller. She's hassled up the floor by Riley Cowan, trying to force it to English. Man, the Dragons are dangerous passes. English handling it up the floor, being guarded by Yarrick. Is that an offense? What is that? What was the call? Dragons didn't get it across half court in time.
Yep, 10-second violation.
Took way too long. So that turns it over to Fort Scott. You're going to play some defense now if you're Pittsburgh. Minute 48. There's another, not an unforced turnover, but a head scratcher for Pittsburgh. Gorman gets it over to Cowan on the left wing. She'll put it on the floor. Hertrick in front of her. Back to Gorman, middle of the lane. Miller in her face. And they're going to whistle a foul, I think, on the floor on Angie Miller. And that's okay. If you're the Dragons, you got one to give there. You might as well do it. Actually, Pittsburgh with two more to give. Yeah.
Not a bad foul at all.
So Miller picks up her second foul, and with a minute and a half, that is a non-issue. They'll get it into Yarrick. English picks her up. Now out to Clark, dribbling free throw line. Over to Cowan, falls down. Are you going to call a foul on Pittsburgh? She fell down.
Oh, my goodness.
On her own. Is this guy watching the same game we're watching? Cowan falls down. Hertrick gets whistled for the foul, and there's your human error for the game. And Fort Scott will keep it. Clark will inbound from the baseline. Gets it into Yark. It's stolen away by English. Saved inbounds to Reed. Ahead to Hertrick, who needs to just slow it down. Slow it down. Now Reed with it. Let's make good decisions here. Miller with it up top. Minute and 11 and counting. And she's fouled by Gorman, and that's just Gorman's second. And just the third, that's the fourth team foul, on Fort Scott. Stops the clock with 1:07. Dragons hanging on to this 5-point lead, it feels like forever. Miller gets it into English. And McKenzie, be careful with the dribble. Gives it up to Jorge, who also needs to be careful with the dribble. Over to Hertrick, back to English. Dragons content to run some time here as she's fouled by Yarrick. And if you're the Dragons, that's who you want going to the free throw line. As Mackenzie English has had the best night from the stripe of anybody in purple and white. That all rhymed. I think that all rhymed.
Yeah, just a little wordplay there. Yeah.
Eminem's got nothing on me, buddy.
This late in the game, you got to put the ball in English's hands.
Yep.
No doubt about it. She's been by far the most accurate and best free throw shooter in the team.
He said as she hit it off the front iron, you're not allowed to talk when we're on the free throw line. You just need
free throws happen. Every time I say something about it, no matter what team it is, they miss.
Yeah, just when we're on the free throw line, keep it to yourself.
I'll make sure I talk as much as I can with the other teams.
Yeah, that's right. Second shot on the way from English is good. So the lead is 6 for the Dragons, under a minute to play. They'll get it to Yarrick, middle of the lane. Shot blocked from behind, but Fort Scott comes away with it, tipped around. Gorman, middle of the lane, shot won't go. Hertrick comes away with it, and she's fouled by Yarrick. And that'll send Sophia Hertrick to the line to shoot a pair for the Dragons.
Great job by Pittsburgh there to not allow any second chance efforts.
And that's 4 on Yarrick, so Yarrick and Rogers both with 4. So both post players for Fort Scott with 4 fouls right now. Not that that really matters a whole heck of a lot with 34.9 seconds left to play. First shot on the way for Hertrick, bounces around and off.
I will say, you have seen the early maturity, like within 2 quarters, you saw just a flip in their identity offensively and defensively. They boxed out a lot better. They had smarter possessions offensively. There's a reason Pittsburgh's 6 points in the lead right now, 30 seconds left.
Second shot is good for Hertrick. Dragons by 7, 30 seconds to play. Cowan with it. They're going to have to get a shot off here, and a wide open look for McElroy is no good. Rebound comes down to English. Over to Angie Miller, and she's fouled by by Gorman. That's Abby's third. And it will send Angie Miller to the line to shoot 2 for the Dragons. 20.7 left to play. And Pittsburgh out in front by 7. Something pretty crazy to have to happen here for the Dragons to give up this lead, as Miller's first free throw well short of the mark. Second shot on the way for Miller, also off the mark. Dragons have not had a good night as a team from the free throw line. Mackenzie English has had a good night from the free throw line. Cowan driving, blocked from behind by English, kicks it out. Another shot on the way, no good. Rebound English. Man, McKenzie came to play in this fourth quarter, and she's fouled by Cowan. That's her first, I believe. And that will send English to the line to shoot a pair with 4.3 left to play. And this one's all pretty much done but the crying.
Yeah, I'd argue Mackenzie English just took over.
Yeah.
This fourth quarter. She looked unstoppable on both ends of the board. Defensively, multiple block shots, great defensive rebounds, offensively, great offensive rebounds, and was unstoppable around the rim.
First shot is good for English. As she keeps it going from the free throw line. She's 6 of 8 from the line tonight. make it 6 of 9, but the rebound comes down to Reed, back out to English. And that's going to do it. Dragon girls hand Fort Scott their first loss in SEK League play as they come away with the 47-39 win over a quality Fort Scott team. And the Dragon girls, look out, they're starting to put together a win streak here in SEK League play. Pittsburg improves to 7-5, 3-2 in SEK League play. Fort Scott falls to 6-2, 3-1 in league play. And the Dragons get to go in the locker room and enjoy this one. The boys out on the floor warming up right now. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the post-game / pregame. Coming up, you're watching Dragon basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com. From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh High. The Dragon girls pull out their fourth win in a row, 47-39 over the Fort Scott Tigers. And Coach Gegg starting to put together. This team's starting to get it together from where they were early in the season until now. You can definitely see the progression. And the Dragons having a good couple of weeks of basketball, including a 1-point win on Saturday over Blue Valley Southwest. And then tonight's win here against Fort Scott and an 8-point win. It's not like it was squeaked out either. The Dragon girls kind of controlled this one for much of the second half. The third quarter looked a little bit rough, but fourth quarter looked a lot better for these Dragons, and Mackenzie English really kind of just took over the game. In that fourth quarter, Odessa Reed showed up as well with 4 points in the period. And Ana Jorge had a big third quarter for Pittsburgh with 7 points in the third. She finishes the game with 7 points. And Dragon girls pick up their 4th win in a row. Don't make too much noise about it. We're on a 4-game win streak. Don't tell anybody. Dragon boys getting set to take on Fort Scott coming up here in the nightcap. Dragon boys coming in at 6-4, 3-1 overall. Fort Scott at 5-2, or 3-1, excuse me, in league play. Fort Scott 5-2 overall, 2-1 in SEK league play. The Dragons coming off a 2-point overtime win at Chanute that was a barn burner over there in Neosho County last week, and we didn't get home till about midnight that night. But man, what a game! The Dragons really did an excellent job of slowing Chanute down and then protecting a narrow lead for much of that 4th quarter. And the Dragon boys have been so much better on the road than they've been at home this year. 1-4 at home, 5-0 on the road. So they have been road warriors. Maybe Coach Moss got everybody on the bus and drove around for 30, 40 minutes and then came back to the school, hopefully, to get these guys ready for this one. And going to look for their 2nd home win of the year here tonight against Fort Scott. Fort Scott's coming off of a 54-45 win against Labette County on Friday night. Their only losses this season back on December 9th, 61-55 on the road at Paola. And then right before Christmas, a 55-50 loss to Chanute. So that Dragon win over Chanute looks pretty good, considering that they topped Fort Scott right before the Christmas break. And we'll talk a little bit about more of this one as we get into the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. We do want to let you know that Pittsburgh Sports Live is presented by Crawcan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get Gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Crawcan. To learn more about Crawcan's no-nonsense pricing and multi-gig internet, check them out online at ckt.net. This is the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show presented by Community National Bank and Trust. Your neighbors, your partners, and your biggest supporters, from personal and business banking to mortgages, credit cards, and investments. CNB has the tools you need with the services you deserve. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, where community comes first. So we're going to have, I believe, the same officiating crew for the boys game as for the girls game. And it was a pretty efficiently officiated game, if I may say so. My criticism of officials, that it went pretty well, especially if you're a Dragon fan. And we'll hope that continues throughout this boys matchup. Interested to see how Danny Durden looks tonight. He rolled his ankle a little bit against Chanute. Kind of came down on another player's foot, but he looks to be moving around just fine. Kids that age are made of rubber. Their joints are flexible. They heal quick. I'm sure he's fine. As the Dragons trying to pick up just their 2nd home win of the season, and Fort Scott trying to keep it rolling in league play. The Fort Scott boys 2-1 in the league. And again, their lone loss coming just right before Christmas to Chanute. We'll talk a little bit more about the Tigers here coming up on the other side of the break, give you an idea of what to expect out of them. You're watching Dragon basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings, chicken and noodles, and so much more. And of course, their delicious homemade pies. Dine in or carry out available. Chicken Annie's of Girard has the best value, flavor, and service in the area. Stop in soon or call for catering. 620-724-4090.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Pittsburg High School, getting set for the nightcap tonight. Dragon Boys getting set to take on the Fort Scott Tigers. If you just tuning in, the Dragon Girls defeated Fort Scott 47-39 to hand Fort Scott their first loss in league play, just their second loss of the season, so a big win for the Dragon Girls here tonight over Fort Scott. The boys hoping to keep it rolling. I think it's time to talk keys to the game, and Michael, Dragons here in their home arena, for me, I think in this matchup they're a bit undersized, and it's super important for them to get some shots to fall early.
No, I agree. I think we got to get our shooters. No, I agree. I think we got to get our shooters going early. Never often's been lights out behind the arc. I'd like to see Landon Jesse get going. He's proven that he's knocked some shots down, but we haven't seen it really in full effect. Another thing to go along with that size, I'd like to see us outrun them in transition. We move well, very well in transition. And besides the center position, we really don't have much size at all, height-wise. So I'd like to see players like Jamarcus Davis really come down hard in the paint and transition. I'd like to see Malachi Meadows really use his speed and his athleticism to back cut and get behind defenders on the man coverage. I'd like to see these guys be faster and not necessarily more physical, but just more quicker and more disciplined.
Yeah, and basically they're going to kind of have to do to Fort Scott what Fort Scott's girls did to Pittsburg in that first half and be the quicker team to the boards, quicker team to the loose balls, because they don't have the size advantage against Fort Scott. As we're looking down here, Fort Scott's got a couple guys 6'3", one kid 6'4", and just a lot of size there. It's a lot of riches over there, an embarrassment of riches, they call it, for Fort Scott when it comes to size against the Dragons. And they've also got a kid named Dirks Kegler, who's just really kind of an outstanding high school player. Kegler's averaging about 15 points a game. Actually, kind of a three-headed monster for Fort Scott. They got three guys, Kegler, Kanan Brown, and Drayden Marlowe, that average about 15 points a game. Kegler leading the team in assists. He also has the highest three-point percentage on the team. So if you can keep him in check and force everybody else on the team to beat you, you might be in good shape if you're the Dragons, but easier said than done. Not a lot of teams have been able to get that done this year. Fort Scott coming in at 5-2, and again, their only losses this year back in December to Paola and Chanute. But since then, they've pulled out a lot of wins, including most recently 54-45 against Lebec County back in Fort Scott. I think that was last Friday night. So Dragons going to have to play maybe their best game of the year tonight if they're going to come out with a win over Fort Scott. We're about a minute away from tip-off here. Let's go ahead and talk starting lineups for tonight's game for Fort Scott. They're going to start 6-foot senior Dirks Kegler, 6'5" junior Drayden Marlowe, 6'3" senior Kanan Brown, 6'2" senior Aiden Organ. And it could be any number of guys after that to fill that 5th spot from what their play-by-play guy tells me. And so we'll wait and see if it's Moreland, Leisure, Schaefer. We'll see who they go with. The Dragons going to go with their normal starting 5 of senior Danny Durden, senior Caden Navaratnam, junior Jamarcus Davis, junior number 11 Landon Jesse, and senior number 21 Malachi Meadows, getting set to honor America with the singing of our national anthem. So here's the part you've all been waiting for, where I shut up.
The west side of the gymnasium and the flag of our United States of America as the PHS Encore leads us in our national anthem.
The PHS Honor Choir with our national anthem. And we're getting set to introduce the starting lineups down here on the floor. We've done that already. I guess we're going to wait and see who the 5th starter for Fort Scott could be. The mystery 5th starter.
And now it's time for our starting lineups in alternating fashion. First for the Tigers, a 6-foot senior, number 3, Dirks Kegler. And for the Purple Dragons, a 6'3" senior, number 1, Danny Durden. For the Tigers, a 6'5" junior, number 10, Drayden Marlowe. Number 2, Caden Navaratnam. For the Tigers, a 6'3" senior, number 11, Kanan Brown. And for the Purple Dragons, a 5'9" junior, number 4, Jamarcus Davis. For the Tigers, a 6'3" senior, number 15, Tyler Anderson. And for the Purple Dragons, a 6' junior, number 11, Landon Jesse. For the Tigers, a 6'2" senior, number 34, Aiden Ogren. And for the Purple Dragons, a 5'10" senior, number 20, Malachi Meadows.
Nobody's.
And for your Purple Dragons, Jesse Moss.
All right, getting set for the tip here in Pittsburgh. I couldn't help but notice none of the players high-fived each other or shook hands before the game. That's a rivalry.
Yep.
That's what
I wouldn't expect anything less.
That's right. No love lost. Getting set for tip-off. Again, between the Dragons and the Tigers, our opening tip brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie. Dirt's heavy, so trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, rock hauling and leveling, driveways and more. Call B&B Excavating, 620-724-2735. Dragons control the tip. Jamarcus Davis driving down the lane. He's fouled quickly. They're going to whistle this one on Dirks Kegler. And if you're the Dragons, you want to force Kegler to play defense, play on both ends of the floor, and that's what Jamarcus Davis does right there. He'll inbound for the Dragons from the baseline, up top to Navaratnam. Pulls the trigger on a three and drills it.
That's exactly what you want to do with Pittsburgh. Get your shooters hot early so you can beat this team out in transition.
Full court pressure being applied. They're going to whistle the foul against Navaratnam. I don't know about that, but Navaratnam picks up his first team foul on the Dragons. Fort Scott will get it into Kegler as Navaratnam will pick him up coming up the floor. Meadows trying to trap. And they want to get the ball out of Kegler's hands, and they do. Kegler will give it up to Brown into the corner. This is Drayden Marlowe. Marlowe looking for Kegler, has it poked away on the entry pass. Davis comes away with it. He's fouled. And he's fouled by the official. Dragons will inbound from the baseline as the best defense on that possession was played by the guy in stripes. Dragons get it into Durden at the elbow. Danny will go to work, kicks it out to Landon Jesse. Getting held, he'll give it up to Navaratnam for three off the mark, straight down to Marlowe. And Fort Scott with it, trailing by 3, 7 minutes to play first quarter. That was a weird possession from the get-go. Kegler with it. Directed traffic, picks up his dribble. Now he'll give it up to Brown. Kanan Brown back up top to Kegler. Now back to Brown. He'll try a three. Short, but the Dragons, he gets his own rebound. And Durden's going to pick up a foul on the other end as Marlowe came up with the rebound, and he's fouled on the putback. And it's a head scratcher for coaches when you allow a long rebound like that to the shooter. And nobody boxed out.
Yeah, like
Brown after the shot.
Like we said, you got to get the little things right. You can't allow those second chance opportunities, especially on these long rebounds, like you said, especially to the shooter. The last person that should be getting the rebound is the shooter, especially on a 3-point shot.
Right. Marlowe misses the first and hits the second. The Dragons leading at 3-1, top of the first. Davis into the lane, kicks out to Jesse. Now Meadows, they'll work the weave, and Davis lost it off his leg, but gets it back. Cross it over. Man, they're just not crisp with the passing here early. Everybody has to double clutch on a catch, and it really disrupts the pace of the offense. Down the lane goes Davis. He's fouled, and Jamarcus will head to the free throw line. I think they're going to get Tyler Anderson with this one, and they do.
Pittsburgh running that triple drive off. Teams just being coverage, trying to get their strong ball carriers down, going downhill like Jamarcus Davis especially. Tony travels so well, carries so much momentum with them towards the basket.
First free throw from Davis, no good off the front iron. Second one, no good off the back iron. Davis 0 for 2 from the stripe. Dragons come away empty. Now Kegler handling up the floor for Fort Scott. Meadows picks him up. Kegler picks up his dribble, kicks it out to Brown. Now up top for Marlowe, and his shot is good for 3. 4 points for Drayden Marlowe, and the Dragons trailing by 1. Into the corner to Meadows. Thought about a long two. Now he'll give it up to Jamarcus Davis. Up top to Navaratnam. He'll elevate for a 15-footer, short of the mark. May have been deflected a little bit, and Kegler will handle it up the floor for Fort Scott. Picks up his dribble. He's in trouble. He'll kick it out. And you got to play perimeter defense if you're the Dragons. Kanan Brown with it will give it back up to Kegler. He picked up his dribble, though. And if you're Pittsburgh, you could really get up there and harass him, but they let him survey the floor and get rid of it. Marlowe with it. Kicks it over to Brown. Back out to Marlowe for three. And might want to keep a hand in that dude's face. Marlowe has all 7 of Fort Scott's points, and the Dragons trail it by 4. Davis into the lane, almost throws it away. Now Navarotman from the corner, no good. And battle for the rebound, and it's going to be off Durden. A lot of shoving and pushing and holding down there under the bucket after the shot, and Durden can't come away with it. Danny will sit, and Zane Miller into the game for the Dragons, and that's a lot of height going off the floor for Pittsburgh. Now a big size advantage for Fort Scott. Durden's Kegler with it across half court. Navarotman picks him up. Kegler working against Navarotman. He pokes it away. Good defense that time by Navarotman to take the shove in the chest and still get a swipe at the ball there and knock it out of bounds.
Great coaching adjustment by Coach Moss to bring out this full court pressure and this high pressing man defense to
Kegler with it to the elbow, elevates on Miller. Shot no good. Right there for the rebound is the Fort Scott, and a foul over the back is going to be whistled on Aiden Organ. Now Wyatt Thomas going to check into the game for the Dragons as Jamarcus Davis will sit. Thomas will handle it up the floor for the Dragons, trailing by 4. 4 minutes and change to play. First half, Zane Miller will take the three from the corner, way off the mark. No rebounders under the bucket. Fort Scott comes away with perhaps their easiest rebound of the season. Brown with it, gives it up to Kegler, top of the key, guarded by Meadows. This is Marlowe going to work on Miller. Huge size advantage for Marlowe. Can't get the shot to fall, and Wyatt Thomas comes away with the board for the Dragons. Into the corner to Miller. Fakes the three, drives baseline, and throws it away. Anderson coming the other way for Fort Scott. He gives it up to Oregon, and they'll slow it down. Kegler with it now at the logo. He'll give it up to Anderson. On the right wing, back up top to Marlowe. Three on the way, no good. Tipped out by Navarotman, but right to Anderson for Fort Scott. Kegler with it, working on, and a moving screen called on Anderson, and he was moving the whole time. Never got set. That's his second foul. And Anderson will sit, and that will bring Kadai Moreland into the game for Fort Scott.
One thing you can always count on Thomas for is being gritty. He's always the smallest person on the court, but he's always the most physical, it feels like.
Got a nose for the basketball. Wyatt Thomas, just a sophomore, but a gamer. There's Davis with it. They're going to whistle a foul on the outside. Whistled that one on Kadai Moreland. That's his first. 15 foul on Fort Scott, so that should be free throws. That should be free throws. Yeah, Jamarcus Davis should be shooting free throws here.
15 foul on the Tigers.
Oh no, it's Danny Durden who's going to shoot the free throws. So the foul happened away from the ball.
It was an off-ball foul.
Yeah, it was an off-ball foul. Now Durden will shoot free throws.
Yeah.
Danny's first trip to the stripe tonight comes up empty. Dragons now 0 for 3 from the stripe as a team to start the game.
Yeah, you can see the physicality coming in early, an off-ball foul. Durden just trying to get positioning offensively in the first couple seconds of the shot clock, and there's already a foul. Just shows how much this game means for both teams.
And Durden hits a second, so breaks the ice from the free throw line for the Dragons. They're 1 of 4 as a team. If they hit their free throws, it's a 1-point game. To get it ahead now, this is Brown on the left wing, working on Zane Miller. Has to pick up his dribble. Now Kegler with it, working on Miller. Drives baseline. Kicks it out to Marlowe, working on Durden. And a travel going to be called on Marlowe.
And that's exactly what Pittsburgh needs to do against this physical offense. They need to be chippy and force mistakes for these big men that aren't used to handling the basketball.
Davis will give it up to Thomas as the Fort Scott crowd behind us lets the officials hear about it. Davis can't get it to fall. Rebound comes down to Marlowe. Kegler handling it up the floor for Fort Scott, leading by 3. And they're going to whistle a foul, I believe, against Wyatt Thomas. And it is. Thomas battling down low.
That's a good foul
with
Thomas
Marlowe,
right there.
Huge size advantage for Marlowe. Now Moss going to check into the game for the Dragons.
Yep. Wyatt Thomas, very smart foul there. If you're not going to get the ball, go for the player, commit the foul.
Pass in over the top to Marlowe. Durden picks him up. Now Kegler, guarded by Navaratnam. Kegler wants a screen. He gets it. Working into Moss, who does a good job staying on his feet. But the perimeter defense, not theirs. Caden Brown knocks down a 3 for Fort Scott. They've got 3 3-point buckets. No 2-point buckets in this first half. Durden loses the dribble, gives it up to Moreland. And now Kegler handling up the floor for Fort Scott. Dragons got to get back defensively. Moreland going to elevate from the free throw line. Rebound, Durden. Navaratnam across half court. Pittsburgh looking to push the issue. They get it to Durden. He's fouled and the bucket. And the Dragons cut the lead to 4, pending the free throw here from Durden.
That's a big and one potential opportunity for Durden there. Having the open space in the left wing all to himself. Getting that ball, taking just one step with his length to get to the basket and using that rim as the defender to make that M1.
Durden 1 of 2 from the line tonight. Make it 1 of 3. Battling for the rebound though, and Durden's going to come away with it. To the bucket, can't get it to go. Rebound, Moreland. Get it ahead to Brown. They're going to whistle a foul from about 100 feet away against Jamarcus Davis. They have that as the 4th on the Dragons. I have it as their 3rd, but all my stats incredibly unofficial. Malachi Meadows getting set to check in. He'll replace Wyatt Thomas. Meadows gets the inbound pass. We're underway. 1:26 to play. First quarter. Dragons trailing by 4. Brown with it. They try to trap him, give it to Kegler, down the lane and off the glass. And you know that's what he wants to do is dribble penetrate. First bucket for Dirks Kegler. And Meadows picks it up on the other end. And the rebound, Durden off the miss. Dragons over the top. Navaratnam off the glass and good. 5 points for Navaratnam, and it's a 2-point game. 49.8 left first quarter. Timeout on the floor. It's a full. We'll take it as well. Dragons trailing it by 2 when we come back. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com. Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
trailing it by 2. Fort Scott with the ball coming out of the timeout. Marlowe gets it in to Dirks Kegler. We're underway. Under a minute to play. Kegler gets it ahead to Marlowe. Back to Kegler. Kicks it out. Shot on the way. No good. And Moss with the rebound. Gets it to Navaratnam. Ahead to Meadows. A lob to Durden. Back to Meadows. Back to Durden. A good save by the Dragons. Deep three by Navaratnam. And man, that was a forever three by Caden that time. He comes up short. Maybe a step closer to the bucket. That would have gone in. Dirks Kegler directing traffic. The outstanding point guard for Fort Scott. Shot on the way from Brown at the buzzer. Oh my goodness, in and out. Ooh, Dragons dodged the bullet there after one. Pittsburgh trailing 12-10. We'll step away for a quick break and we'll be back to watching Dragon basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh High. After one, Dragon boys trailing Fort Scott 12-10. And Caden Brown had a real good look at a three-pointer, went in and out at the end of the first quarter. Dragons fortunate that didn't fall, but it will be Fort Scott ball to start the second quarter. Marlowe gets it in. Dragons better get this defense straightened out quickly, and they do. Anderson gives it up to Brown. Now Marlowe with it, back to Brown in the corner, guarded by Meadows. And they're going to whistle Malachi with the foul, trying to use that baseline as the extra defender. And he's going to be whistled for a block. Coach Moss disagrees, but that foul goes against Meadows. That's his first. Good inbound pass to find Brown. Don't get much easier than that. And the Dragons back to trailing by 4. Davis with it. Gives it up to Landon Jesse. Back around to Meadows on the right wing. Navaratnam thought about a three. Now Caden driving off the glass too strong. And the finger roll layup doesn't go. And quickly back the other way comes Fort Scott. Dragons had a good look at it, couldn't get it to fall. And every possession is going to matter. Anderson for 3, off the back iron, no good. Long rebound thrown in. Davis does a great job of saving it. Ahead to Meadows, who has a hard time handling the pass. Back out to Navaratnam, settle down. Jesse down low to Meadows, off the glass and good. 4 points for Meadows. And the lead is back down to 2 for Fort Scott.
Malachi Meadows doing a great job of running underneath the basket, finding a wide open lane to the basket.
Brown into Meadows from the elbow, turnaround jumper's good. And Fort Scott's got so many guys who can score the basketball. Brown's got 7. Into the lane goes Davis, just a little bit out of control, can't get the layup to go. And here comes Fort Scott trying to build on his 4-point lead. Kegler out to Marlowe, straightaway 3. That's his 3rd of the game. 10 points for Marlowe, and the Dragons are going to have to pick him up when he crosses half court. Jesse forever away from the bucket. Not a good 3. I mean, that one's a bad shot for Steph Curry. Brown with it now. Working against Navaratnam into the lane. Dragons can't stop the dribble penetration, and Brown is killing Pittsburgh right now. He's got 9. Brown and Marlowe are bad news right now for the purple and white. Navaratnam's going to try a three. Again, way beyond the arc. That's an NBA range three, and then Fort Scott gives it right back, does the Dragons a favor, and they need every favor they can get. Trailing by 9 here with 5.5 to play in the first half. Davis and Navaratnam will sit. Wyatt Thomas and Zane Miller back into the game for the Dragons.
Coming out of this second quarter, you can see Pittsburgh struggling against his physicality and size even more.
They're pushing, forcing it. Now Jesse with it on the near side, working against Marlowe. Out to Durden, back to Thomas. Zane Miller with it, into the lane, looking for Durden, finds him, off the glass and good. 5 points for Durden, and the lead is 7. You got a football score, 21-14. Kegler with it, working against Thomas. Picks up his dribble, he'll give it up to Brown. Working against Meadows. Down to Kegler, and Jesse blocks a shot, but gets a lot of the body on Dirks Kegler. And that'll send Kegler to the line to shoot a pair.
Poison, White, Thomas defensively, every single player he's guarding has tried to back him down in the paint, and he's tried to gamble his time, and he's been unsuccessful so far.
Well, when you're a sophomore out there playing a bunch of seniors, they're going to try and back you down under the bucket as Kegler hits the first free throw. And he's just super fundamentally sound. And part of being fundamentally sound is making free throws. And so you expect that when Kegler goes to the line, he's going to make you pay. Second free throw on the way is good. 4 points for Kegler. And it's a 9-point lead once again for Fort Scott. The Dragons just, you're going to have to play a near perfect game here tonight if you're Pittsburgh. Meadows to Miller. Into the lane, cut off, kicks it out to Durden. Out to Meadows for 3, off the mark, tipped out. And they're going to whistle a foul against Fort Scott. They get this one on Kegler. That's his second. Oh no, it's on Wyatt Thomas, excuse me. That's his second. It turns it over to Fort Scott. I thought they whistled Fort Scott with the foul.
The signal he gave looked like he did.
Yeah,
but
that was
Wyatt
confusing.
Thomas, you can see from here over the back foul, trying to find the rebound.
And Kegler getting away from Miller and gets it up the floor across the timeline to Marlowe. Down low to Anderson, goes right into the chest of Durden and scores it. First bucket for Tyler Anderson, and it's an 11-point lead now for Fort Scott. Durden with the top of the key, and he's going to be fouled. I believe they're going to get Anderson with this one.
Yeah, when you play a physical team like this, when you got to blow by them, when they're not letting you blow by them, sometimes you got to try to blow through them.
I'm sorry, that's Aiden Organ who picked up that foul. And that's his second. Oh, my foul sheet here is a mess.
Great job by Durden to attack their biggest man they have on the team, getting 2 quick fouls in the second quarter.
So Oregon just picked up 2 quick fouls on this possession. And Oregon will sit. And that will bring Paxton Leisure into the game for the first time tonight. Miller to inbound it, trying to get it in, gets it in over the top to Corday Hayes, who's in for the first time tonight. Navaratnam down the lane, kicks it out to Jamarcus Davis. All of a sudden, nobody wants to shoot from the outside for the Dragons. Davis loses the dribble. Dragons turn it over, and Brown's going to handle it up the floor. Gets it to Kegler. Fort Scott doesn't have to be in a hurry with it, that's for sure. And Kegler's going to go to work on Hayes. And Hayes fouls him.
Just not an easy matchup for anybody.
Nope. So far, Navaratnam's probably done the best job on him, maybe defensively for the Dragons, but Kegler misses the first free throw.
Yeah, to guard a guy like this caliber, you need a guy who's just as quick as he is strong.
And Kegler hits the second. He's 3 for 4 from the line tonight. He's got 5. The Dragons trailing it by 12. Zane Miller was out of bounds. And the Dragons turn it over for the second time down the floor.
That's a bonehead decision. You just can't make this with this kind of scenario in the game.
Kegler sees an opening, drives it up the floor. They're looking for Brown down low. They give it back to Marlowe, way up top. Back to Brown, working baseline. Now he'll pick it up, back out to Marlowe. Leisure with it. This is Anderson. Marlowe back out now to Kegler, guarded by Navaratnam. Caden trying to force him to go to his right because Kegler is a left-hander. Marlowe's shot way off the mark, rebounded Hayes. Davis looking to push on Brown, does the bucket, and the foul. There's the first field goal of the game for Jamarcus Davis. They've been hard to come by.
And that's what we need to see out of Jamarcus Davis tonight. Pittsburgh wants a chance to this. We need his physicality attacking the basket and his success around the rim.
Right, he drew the contact that time, and he'll head to the line trying to complete the three-point play. The free throw is no good. They're going to whistle a foul, though, on the miss. And then against Zane Miller, every call tonight seems to be going against the Dragons. And that'll give it back to Fort Scott. And no, it'll be free throws for probably Marlowe.
Yeah, you can see these off-ball fouls becoming an issue for Pittsburgh early on, which is expected against such a sizable team like Fort Scott. They're being out physical, if you can even say it's a word. Danny Durden had a problem giving himself.
First shot from Marlowe is good. I'll tell you, that Marlowe, Drayden Marlowe is a good-looking player. He hits threes. He's a presence down low. The only, mistake we've seen him make all night was that travel on the baseline. He's a good-looking player.
No, he looks comfortable at all 3 levels.
And Fort Scott, they got some dudes. Marlowe makes the second. He's 3 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. He's got 12 points already. Jesse passed up an open 3. He'll kick it back out to Jamarcus Davis. And all of a sudden, nobody except Caden Navaratnam, of course, as he misses. And you'd think the Dragons, they're such a good road team. They just don't shoot the ball well at all in their own gym. These Fort Scout fans are so fired up. You'd think that it was a 2-point game and not a 12-point game.
Just tell.
That's how bad Fort Scott wants to beat Pittsburgh in anything. Down low to Miller, way out too deep. Traveled, drug his pivot foot. And so many turnovers tonight for the Dragons. So many turnovers.
Offensively, it's just they're controllable. It's self-inflicted, it feels like most times.
Miller will take a seat. Raymond Moss back into the game for the Dragons. Marlowe with it. He'll dribble into the lane, right into Moss. Shot no good. Rebound Jesse, who skied up there to get it. Here comes Jamarcus Davis the other way. Lob pass for Durden. And another turnover. This one in transition.
Just trying to get a swing momentum there, trying to get the crowd back on their feet.
If you're going to do the lob, it better be accurate, and that one was far from it. Marlowe with it now, gives it up to Kegler, working against Navaratnam. 2 minutes to play first half. Marlowe with it, working against Navaratnam, into the corner. Shot on the way from Anderson, no good. Rebound Davis. Jamarcus looking to push ahead to Durden. Into Marlowe, he's fouled, and Danny will head to the line to shoot 2.
When Pittsburgh can get the ball in transition, good things happen. We have to find a way to make that happen also.
That's Marlowe's first personal, 14 foul on Fort Scott. And now Durden at the line to shoot 2. First one does everything but go in. Well, Dragons just don't shoot well in this gym. It's weird. and they haven't all season. Maybe we need to get a priest in here to do an exorcism.
Get a little
change
stage.
color scheme or something in here. Durden hits a second.
Oh.
And there's a strange turnover. Did you have that one on your bingo card?
I've never seen that personally.
Yeah. Well, gives the ball back to the Dragons, trailing by 11. To Moss over the top. Now Durden with it. Up top to Davis. He'll take a contested three. Off the mark. Moss chases down the rebound. Gets it to Durden. Back to Davis. Working on Kegler. Off the glass. Good. Jamarcus Davis has 4 points. And the lead is 9. Marlowe picks up his dribble. He gives it up to Kegler. Guarded by Navarrete, who's done a good job on him. And the reverse layup by Anderson is good. He's got 4. And the Fort Scott lead back to 11. And they're going to whistle an offensive foul against the Dragons. Against Danny Durden. I didn't see it. Fort Scott with the ball, 1:08 to play first half. Dragons trailing by 11. Can't seem to get out of their own way here in this first half. Not to say that Fort Scott hasn't played a good half of basketball. Brown with it, driving into the lane, loses it, and they're going to whistle a foul on the Dragons from the backside. He couldn't even see it from that side.
Yeah, this fishing anchors have a lot of those blindside calls.
X-ray vision, bud.
Well,
I believe the Tigers.
52.8 left to play. Dragons trailing by 11. Brown hits the free throw. Coach Moss just shaking his head. And Brown hits them both. And this is just a fundamentally sound Fort Scott squad. And that's why a lot of prognosticators picked them as the best team in the league this year. Davis spinning into the lane, off the glass and good. He's got 6 points all in this second quarter. But the Dragons are going to have to figure out a way to get some stops against this potent offense for the Tigers. Navarrete trying to guard Dirks Kegler. Kick out to Brown. Three-pointer on the way, short of the mark. Rebound Durden. And thank you, a foul against Anderson.
Well, that should take him to the line.
That's his third.
That's good news for Pittsburgh. Keep some of these key Fort Scott players in foul trouble and get them out of the game.
So far, Oregon and Anderson both with 3 fouls for Fort Scott. Durden misses the first off the back iron. Durden just 2 of 6 from the stripe. Jamarcus Davis will sit, so will Landon Jesse. Moss and I believe Hayes check into the game. For Meadows and Hayes. Durden's second shot is good. 3 of 7 from the line tonight, Danny Durden. It's a 10-point game, 24.6 to play in the half. Durden will sit. Coach Moss trying to keep him out of foul trouble desperately. He's only got 1, so that's good news for the Dragons. Marlowe gets it into Kegler. Plenty of time to work for Fort Scott offensively. Navarrete trying to trap. They'll get it ahead to Quaddy Moreland. And his shot is good. It's his first bucket. And the lead is back to 12. And Navarrete doesn't follow his shot. The three-pointer, no good. Kegler, a runner at the buzzer, no good. And that'll do it for the first half. Dragons trailing by 12, 34-22. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the GN Bank halftime show. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh High School at the half. The Dragons trailing the Fort Scott Tigers 34-22. This is the GN Bank halftime show brought to you by GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for more than 100 years. Whether it's personal, business, or agricultural needs, trust the team at GN Bank. Find out more at gn-bank.com. All right, let's take a look at some of the halftime scores. First, for the visiting Fort Scott Tigers, they're led in scoring by Drayden Marlowe. He's got 12. 9 of those coming from beyond the arc, the other 3 coming at the free throw line, so he's yet to make a 2-point bucket. Next up, Kanan Brown, he's got 11, 8 of those coming in the second half. Dirks Kegler has 6, Tyler Anderson with 4, and Quade Moreland with 2. That bucket coming late in the second quarter to round out the scoring for Fort Scott. For Pittsburgh, they're led in scoring by Danny Durden. He's got 7. Jamarcus Davis with 6. Caden Navaratnam with 5. And Malachi Meadows with 4. And the Dragons just have not shot the ball well from the outside tonight. And then turnovers really became a factor in that second quarter.
We put a lot of money into it.
And the Dragons trailing it by 12 here at the half. That look back at the first half. Our Eye on the Game brought to you by Kanar Eye Care. As we take a look back at the first half, Kanar Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kanar Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Learn more at canareyecare.com. We'll step away for a quick break. We'll be back with more of the halftime show. Dragons trailing by 12 at the break. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Welcome back to a rockin' Pittsburg High School. At the half, the Dragons trailing by 12, 34-22 to the Fort Scott Tigers. And man, we were saying it during the break, the Dragon Pep Band sounds awesome. Where have these guys been all year? They really add something to the atmosphere here in the gym. And right now they're jamming out some Chicago, a little 25 or 6-4 there. And they've sounded great all night. Before that, some Backstreet Boys. I'm a little lukewarm on that, but they've sounded good playing everything they played tonight. And hats off to those kids. I hope they keep showing up to these Dragon home games. I'll take this over music pumped in over the speakers any day of the week. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Here at the break, Dragons trailing by 12, and you know, the Dragons have made their mistakes and whatever, but I think it's a lot more that Fort Scott has played a heck of a game tonight. And they are solid top to bottom, and they're at least 3 guys, probably 4, that can legitimately score the basketball for Fort Scott. And you have a really dependable ball handler and distributor and scorer in Dirks Kegler, and this is going to be a tough team to beat. And Fort Scott competing in Class 4A. I mean, man, they got a legit shot to make a run this year, I would say, just based on what I've seen here in this half of basketball. I mean, I guess I've gushed enough on the opponent, but they played a good game tonight, and they look like a really talented team. And if you're going to run into these guys at Sub-State, look out.
Yeah, it's the thing about Fort Scott. This team, our Pittsburgh team is going to commit mistakes day in and day out. Every single team does. But when you play a team like Fort Scott where they really don't, they're going to make your mistakes look so much worse.
Yeah, like, you're going to pay for every mistake you've made. And that's what's happened tonight to the Dragons. Every time that they have committed turnovers or haven't been able to get shots to fall, Fort Scott comes right down the other end and makes them pay. And every time the Dragons have gone on a little run, Fort Scott has had an answer. And so Dragons are going to have to play an inspired half of basketball to come back and win this one here tonight. We'll see what these guys have got. This team has really come together since early in the season when they started out 0-3 against basically a murderer's row of KC Metro and Missouri schools. But they're playing the cream of the SEK here tonight. I've already seen Independence once this year, and I think Fort Scott's the better team of the two. Independence has a couple of really good players. Fort Scott's got a great team.
Yeah, a great batch of players and a great team is a whole different story.
Yeah. Dragons with the ball to start the second half. We're underway. Navaratnam with it, picked up by Brown, and he throws it away. There's a turnover. Kegler off and running, off the glass, won't go. He's fouled by Navaratnam, and he'll head to the line. So second foul on Navaratnam, and there we are talking about they take advantage of every mistake you make. Dragons come out of the locker room, turn the ball over, and then a foul in transition by Navaratnam, and Kegler at the line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, that series of events just wrapped up the first half of the match.
Yeah, pretty much in a nutshell right there. And the first shot no good for Kegler. He's got 6 points at the break here, coming out of the half. And Fort Scott as a team, I think that's only their third missed free throw of the night, and he hits the second. 7 points for Kegler, and the Fort Scott lead is 13. Navaratnam with it, picks up his dribble, gives it up to Jesse, into the corner to Meadows, back up top to Navaratnam, now back to Meadows, Davis with it, hands off to Durden, Danny way up top. Now Meadows with it, gives it up to Davis. Jamarcus spinning into the lane, shot short of the mark, gets his own rebound. The putback also no good. Another rebound for Davis, fighting. And it's the possession arrow is going to favor Fort Scott, so that's a good turnover by the Dragons.
And when you can't take advantage of those opportunities, they're going to make you pay.
Get within a foot of the bucket, they got a fall, and Davis couldn't get two of them to go. Got tied up before the third attempt. Now Kegler with it, will give it up to Marlowe. Across the timeline to Brown on the far side, back up top to Marlowe. Dragons have got to honor the outside shooters for Fort Scott. We'll see if it opens anything down low. Marlowe driving, shot off the glass, no good. Rebound Navaratnam, he'll give it up to Kegler, to Davis, working against Kegler up the floor, and they're going to whistle Durden for a travel. Coach Moss upset with the execution or lack thereof of his team here in this third quarter thus far. Brown with it, surveying the floor, and a timeout for Scott to preserve the possession. As Coach Brennan Feeback calls the timeout, and it's a 30-second. We'll stay right here, but everything we talked about as far as mistakes and Fort Scott making us pay has shown up again here in the early moments of this third quarter.
Yeah, no, Pittsburgh's offensive mistakes are making this hill steeper to climb for them if they want to come back. They got to tighten up a lot of things, and somehow, on top of that, somehow find an answer to stop them on defense, which we haven't seen yet.
No, it's a tough row to hoe for the Dragons tonight. Marlowe to inbound from in front of the Dragons bench. He'll get it into Kegler, back to Marlowe across the timeline. Now Brown with it, picked up by Jesse. He'll put it on the floor, elevates baseline. Jesse got a hand on that one. Ahead to Meadows, off the glass and good. 6 points for Meadows. That's the first bucket of this third quarter for the Dragons. And points not coming easy for either team.
Kegler just such a creative ball handler. Just makes it so hard to put pressure and steal the ball.
They whistle that foul on Navaratnam. That's his third. Caden, the only Dragon with 3 fouls at this point. Kegler with it in the half court. He'll give it up to Brown, going to work on Jesse. His shot is good. Nice little runner in the lane for Brown. He's got 13.
When you play defensive smothering as that, it's just...
Davis's layup no good. Rebounded by Anderson. Hands off to Kegler, ahead to Brown. Working on Durden. Danny's got to be careful. Back out to Marlowe. He'll put it on the floor, working on Navaratnam, who needs to be careful as well. Three-point shot on the way from Oregon. No good. Dragons coming back the other way. Davis will take a three and drills it. Boy, Pittsburgh needed that. Davis has 9. Timeout. Pittsburgh, 30-second timeout. Coach Moss wants to talk it over with his team as the lead is 10. For Fort Scott, they led by 12 at the half, and the Dragons cut it to 10.
If you're Pittsburgh, what you need to do is look at this league and cut it into halves or thirds. It was 15 just a second ago. They just went on a quick little 5-point run, take a timeout, reassess, go over the game plan again, try to get in there a 5-point cut, try to make it a 5-point game, and work in pieces. You're not going to make a 10-point comeback in 5 minutes. You don't need to. You have 13 minutes left to play. If you're Pittsburgh, slow down and play this game methodically.
You're down by 10. You just want to win each quarter here on out and just hope for the best. If you're the Dragons, and actually they've held Fort Scott to just 3 points here in the first 2.5 minutes of this half. And Durden picks up a silly foul too far from the Dragon basket. And that's Danny's second.
That's third, they're saying.
Okay.
And that's not what you want to see if you're
Pittsburgh. That's no
Pittsburgh.
good for the Dragons. Got to keep Durden out of foul trouble. You see Corday Hayes and Zane Miller getting off the bench, but not to take anything away from those. There's a deflected pass. The Dragons miss it. And then also miss Anderson under the bucket. He's got 6. And just like that, the lead is back to 12. Davis down on the other end. You got to get stops and take care of the basketball for the Dragons. Davis has 11. Brown with it now into the corner again. Anderson open, down low to Kegler. And the shot is good for Kegler. Did they whistle like a basket interference or something?
Yep.
On Durden, but Kegler's going to get the bucket anyway. He's got 8.
Interesting.
So the shot went in anyway. So the basket interference is pointless. Davis with it on the far side, working into Kegler. Loses it, and the Dragons turn it over. Wyatt Thomas, Zane Miller, and Corday Hayes check into the game. Davis, Navaratnam, and Durden will sit for the Dragons. Navaratnam and Durden with 3 fouls each. They'll get it into Brown, now over to Kegler as they break the Dragon press easily. Ahead to Moreland, he'll give it up to Marlowe. Now Brown with it, he'll step into a deep 3 and drills it. 16 points for Brown. Quickly back the other way comes Meadows. He's fouled hard by Marlowe, and Malachi will head to the line to shoot 2. That's 2 on Marlowe.
His third personal. First team foul on the Tigers.
And that just shows how good, how disciplined, how well coached this Fort Scott team is. Throughout that 15, they make a huge 3, just put a dagger in the heart of this Pittsburgh team in this third quarter, and he screams at him from across the court and says, "Stop celebrating."
Dragons continue to struggle from the free throw line as Meadows misses the first.
This Fort Scott program expects actions this year, and it shows in the court.
PJ Isaiah into the game for the first time tonight. So the 5 on the floor. Meadows misses them both. Hayes tries to save it, but cannot. Meadows will sit. Well, for a minute there, the Dragons had 6 dudes on the floor. In football, that'd be a penalty. Brown gets it over to Marlowe. Cross half court. Lob pass down low to Anderson. Gets Landon Jesse off his feet. And Jesse commits the foul, and that'll send Anderson the line to shoot 2. That's 3 on Jesse by my count. And the Dragons that's their 14th foul. Almost in the bonuses, Fort Scott with half of this quarter left to play. Dragons, Fort Scott just with 1 team foul so far. Anderson misses the first free throw.
Since Coach Moss called that timeout, Fort Scott came out of that looking stronger than ever, I'd argue.
Yeah. And Anderson hits the second. 7 points for Tyler Anderson. It's starting to get out of hand for the Dragons. Davis fouled under the bucket. They'll whistle this on Kanan Brown.
Marcus Davis trying to keep his team in it. He's doing what he does best, driving the basket, his physicality, and just be strong.
Yeah, Jamarcus Davis 0 for 2 from the free throw line. 0 for 3.
And I'd argue one of the best positives that comes out of his physical driving presence is that Cal Kelly his defenders.
Right.
It almost feels like he's walking to the free throw line at the end of every trip.
And 0 for 4. Dragons do not shoot it well in this gym. 5-0 on the road, just 1-4 in this gymnasium for the Dragons. This is their home floor. Marlowe driving into the lane, elevates, shot on the way is good. 14 points for Drayden Marlowe. And the lead is 18. Hayes gives it up to Isaiah. Out to Miller. Drives through, off the glass and good for Zane Miller. First bucket of the night for Zane. Cuts the lead to 16. Dirk Kegler handling up the floor. Brown wide open for 3. No good. Battle for the rebound. Got a held ball. Dragon ball off of the held ball.
Pittsburgh needs to string a lot more of those turnovers together if they want to see themselves back in this game.
Davis quickly up the floor with it out to Zane Miller. Thought about a 3. Kind of got away with a step there. Gives it up to Davis. Working against Anderson. Has it slapped away. Meadows gathers it in. Now Malachi driving off the glass, no good. Gets his own rebound out to Zane Miller. Shot on the way off the mark. And I'm serious about that Priest exercising this gym. The Dragons ice cold from the floor tonight. Ball stripped away by Hayes. Out of bounds. And it should probably stay with Fort Scott. I think Hayes is the last one to touch it. As he slapped it away from Quaddy Moreland. Let's see who made that one. Gabe Cox for 3. Just checked in the game for the first time tonight. Cox for the big 3. Pittsburgh still trailing by 15. You got to cut off the dribbler here as Kegler hits the floor hard. And that's going to send Kegler to the line, I believe. It will. They whistle that foul on Isaiah. That's his first. First shot from Kegler is good. Moss back into the game. Isaiah will sit.
I think when we've seen Moss come to the game, we've seen a much more resounding defense in the interior. So hopefully he can change the pace.
Yeah, get some size in there for the Dragons. As Moss comes away with the rebound. Davis to Meadows, can't handle the pass, and His pass to Miller deflected, out of bounds by Kegler. It'll stay with the Dragons. Meadows gets it in. Moss over to Meadows, top of the key to Cox. It's stripped from him, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Dragons. I think Anderson got a hand on it. A minute 31 to play, third quarter. Dragons trailing it by 16. Got to come away with some points here if you're Pittsburgh. Davis for three is good. That's what the doctor ordered. Dragons need a lot more of that and some defensive stops. Trailing it here by 13. Marlowe with it up top, working on Miller. Big height advantage from Marlowe. Outside shot on the way from Moreland, and he drills a three. Is there anybody on this Fort Scott team who can't hit a three? Davis from the elbow, off the back iron, no good. Moreland comes away with it, and he touched the end line, and that'll give it back to the Dragons.
And what I saw right there, that proves that Fort Scott does everything right, including the little things. You saw all 5 guys on defense crash the rebound and made sure they came down with that, even though I know they didn't, obviously.
Moreland, 6'4", senior, hitting the floor, getting after that one. And when you got a 6'4" guy like Moreland coming off your bench, you got a pretty good team. Navaratnam's shot no good. Dragons can't make a shot to save their life except for a couple of threes by Davis. Moreland got away with a walk, spinning into the lane, loses it, comes away to Jamarcus Davis, off and running. No numbers for the Dragons, but Davis going anyway, off the glass and good. Don't let that stop you. And the lead is 14 for Fort Scott. Under 20 seconds to play, third quarter. Kegler holding for last shot, guarded by Navaratnam, elevates middle of the lane, and it's good. You get the feeling that Kegler could get a shot just about any time he wants it. Davis pulls up for three. Good. And Davis exploded in this third quarter, but the Dragons couldn't get stops on the defensive end. The lead is 13. We're heading to the final quarter. When we come back, we watch Dragon basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh High. Coming out of the break, Fort Scott with the ball, but a charging foul called against Aiden Morgan. That's his fourth. First team foul on Fort Scott. Dragons got a long way to go to come back in this one. It's a rowdy atmosphere here in Pittsburgh on both sides of this gym, particularly behind us with the Fort Scott crowd. Down low to Jesse, can't get it to fall. Gets it back off the glass and good. That's Jesse's first bucket of the night. He's got two. Dragons trailing it by 11, 7:22 2:32 to play. Kegler with it into the lane. And there's a foul called, I think, against Meadows, and it is. That's his second. The Dragons wanted to travel against Kegler, but no such luck. Brown going to work on Jesse. Off the glass and good for Brown. He's got 18. Jesse with it up top. Now Navaratnam. Back over to Davis. He'll try a three. No good. Rebound Brown.
With how the offense is rolling, that's kind of feel like the only answer we have is put the ball in Davis's hands.
That was kind of a heat check for Jamarcus. Into the lane goes Brown. He's fouled. He'll head to the line. I think they're going to get Landon Jesse with this one, and they do. That's his fourth by my count.
Fort Scott does a great job recognizing the weaknesses in the defense. They attack Wyatt Thomas when he's down low. Landon Jesse's the big man. The 5 spot is offense right now for this Pittsburgh team. They attack him with their size.
Yeah, and a guy like Brown, you got to be more aggressive in denying him the basketball rather than letting him square up with you and drive to the bucket. He missed the first free throw, however, but he's had a heck of a game. Durden with the rebound, and he's fouled. They whistle Aiden Organ with that one. That was his 5th by my count, and it is. He'll sit. It doesn't do you much good. Quaddy Moreland comes back into the game.
Yeah, it's a great job by Jamarcus Davis getting the box and around, forcing that big foul running out.
Davis will handle it up the floor for the Dragons. Coach Moss called a timeout. The official didn't hear him, so he basically had to throw a fit over there to get a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, 6.5 to play. Fourth quarter will stay right here. Dragons trailing by 13.
Yeah, it's kind of the same old story it's been since the start of this second half. It just, Fort Scott just looks unstoppable. There's no answer. They have 5 guys on the court that can score at all times, 5 guys that are taller than you, more physical than you. So Pittsburgh is just having a really hard time finding that answer tonight.
Yeah. And to top it off, they've executed their offense really well tonight.
I'd argue
and
flawlessly.
Shot the lights out from beyond the arc. The Dragons, seems like there's a lid on the bucket sometimes for this Pittsburgh offense. Everything looks better when your shots fall, and they just have them tonight for the Dragons. They'll get it in over the top to Navaratnam. Now Davis with it, guarded by Anderson. Back out to Navaratnam. Now Davis, he'll try the 3 and drills it. I think that's 21 for Davis. He's got to get some help. Moreland with it over the top as they break the press. Kegler with it. His pass deflected by Miller, but Moreland secures it for Fort Scott. Moreland thought about a 3. He'll put it on the floor into Davis. Kicks it outside for Brown. There you go, 3-pointer for Brown. Every single player on this roster for Fort Scott can hit a shot from beyond the arc. Dragons still trailing it by 13. Miller onto the floor. Under the bucket, no good. Rebound, Moreland. Kegler will handle it up the floor. Back over to Moreland. He'll take that 3. In and out. Rebound, Durden. Ahead to Meadows. Gets the defender off his feet. Moreland blocks the shot. He's whistled with the foul, and that'll send Meadows to the line. Not a crowd pleaser on this side of the gym, but it doesn't seem like it's going to make that much of a difference. Stops the clock with 5:24 to play. Meadows stepping to the line to shoot 2. Meadows 0 of 2 from the line tonight. Timeout Fort Scott. Full timeout. We'll take it as well. 5:24 to play. Dragons trailing by 13. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
It's The Rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The Rush is why we need a plan. A plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Welcome back to Pittsburg High. Dragons trailing by 13 to the Fort Scott Tigers. 5:24 to play. Meadows at the line to shoot two, coming out of the timeout. First shot from Meadows off the mark. 0 for 3 from the stripe tonight.
I will say Pittsburgh offensively has left a lot of shots on the stripe tonight.
Yeah, you know, the shooting mid-range, outside, wherever, free throws, just hasn't been there for the Dragons tonight, as he is now 0 for 4 from the stripe. Dragons back off the pressure. Wyatt Thomas guarding Dirks Kegler, down to Brown. You got to have better position defensively on Brown when he catches it. If you're Navaratnam, he was off balance the entire time. Brown gets the bucket. The lead is 15. Davis for 3, no good. Rebound, Moreland. And now Marlowe with it, coming up the floor into Meadows. Corner for Anderson, back up top to Moreland. And if you're Fort Scott, you can afford to be very deliberate with the ball at this point. Use a lot of shot clock to take the air out of this gym. Brown gives it up middle of the lane. Kegler, shot on the way is good. Got good position down low, did Dirks Kegler. And one of those guys that when he elevates, he's going to get his shot. Wyatt Thomas dribbles into traffic. Fortunate that Meadows came away with it. Back to Durden, now in the corner to Davis. Gets hand checked and fouled. The bucket is good. Wow.
So Marcus Davis,
single-handedly
unstoppable.
If you take his points away,
this game looks a lot uglier.
Yeah, this game is the running clock. Moss checks in. Durden will sit.
At the line for the Purple Dragons, number 4, Marcus Davis.
Around the rim, I thought. It feels like Davis has missed around the rim.
And it goes down for Davis. He completes the three-point play. 25 points for Davis as Fort Scott gets it across the line. Kegler with it. Guarded by Davis. He'll give it up to Brown. Davis picks him up. Over to Anderson. Marlowe for 3. In and out. Is that the first one he's missed all night? But right there for the rebound is Moreland. Back up top to Brown. And Kegler dribbling around over the top to Brown. Nice look. Tell you what, Fort Scott kind of putting on an offensive clinic tonight against the Dragons. And Davis loses the dribble. Moreland off and running. Has it stripped away by Navaratnam. Good play by Caden. Not giving up on it. Davis picked up by Kegler. Jamarcus into the lane. He's fouled. And gets up a little gingerly. The whistle that foul on Kegler. That's his second. And it will send this Fort Scott crowd. They're up by, gosh, 16. Have some class.
They are very verbal.
Very. You would think it was a 1-point game. Davis at the line to shoot 2. And the first one off the mark.
I gotta say, if I were a referee and
The Dragons have not shot free throws well tonight at all.
No.
You look back on this game, they've left. Another miss from the line. Moreland gives it back to Kegler. And we're under 3 minutes to go. Dragons trailing by 16. Kegler down the lane, he's fouled. And he'll head to the line. I think they're gonna get Wyatt Thomas with this one, and they do. That's 3 on Thomas by my count. First shot from Kegler is good.
Yeah, I will say the point differential between Pittsburgh and Fort Scott on just the free throw line alone speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And you can't say that's a whole outlier why this game's the way it is. It's far from it, but it's just one thing catalyst.
Kegler makes them both. That's what good teams do. Isaiah with it in the lane, kicks it over to Miller in the corner. Thomas with it on the wing, spinning. Kicks it out to Isaiah, back to Thomas. Wyatt Thomas spinning in the lane off the glass, no good. Rebound comes down to Brown. Now Kegler with it. Over the top to Brown. Harassed by Miller, but he has it. Thought about a 3, now kicks it to Kegler. And Fort Scott not really taking their foot off the gas offensively. They're still wanting to shoot threes, and Kegler dribbles off his leg out of bounds. We'll give it back to the Dragons, trailing by 18 with 2:13 to play.
Wyatt Thomas yet again being a resound gritty defender.
Thomas driving again, that one blocked. Just too many red jerseys down there. And Thomas has it rejected, now Fort Scott with it again. And not a lot of really long possessions as Thomas harassing Kegler. They'll get it over to Marlowe into the lane. Why did they call the foul on?
What you like to see is late in the game when the lead is big. You'd like to see players who are out there who are still trying no matter what. Wyatt Thomas, a key example.
Well, you know, and guys like Thomas and Isaiah, they don't get a lot of minutes. So even though you're way behind here, those guys are going to come out and give you maximum effort, and that's what you want to see.
Especially the Coach Moss.
Kegler will sit, and that will bring Jax Armstrong into the game for the first time, the 5'8" sophomore. Get it into Brown. Brown going to work on Meadows, gets Moss off his feet. Nope, he's going to be whistled for travel, drug that pivot foot.
I gotta say, if I were a referee, Josh Allen, and I saw this schedule proposed me to play call Fort Scott, home or away, I don't think I'd accept that.
Miller with it into the lane, out to Thomas, driving into the lane for the Dragons, over to Moss. Reverse layup is good. That's the first bucket of the game for Damon Moss. Comes in the fourth quarter, and it cuts the lead to 16. Timeout Fort Scott to preserve the possession. Moreland had it, was getting trapped. And timeout called by Coach Feback, saving possession for Fort Scott. Dragons trailing by 16 with 1:19 to play. 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here. And it is a real good atmosphere tonight for high school basketball in this gym, but the Dragons just getting outperformed tonight by Fort Scott. And just haven't shot the ball well at home at all this season. That's why they're 1-4 here at home.
What's impressive, though, is they had 52 points still to show on the board without the shooting.
Yeah.
It's Tiger basketball.
It goes to show.
Jamarcus Davis has shot the ball pretty well tonight, but that's it. Brown with it. Picks up his dribble, needs some help. Almost stolen by Thomas, but it gets to Anderson. Now Brown looking for a screen. He'll give it back in the corner to Anderson. Shot on the way, no good. Brown comes away with it though. And Armstrong with it, gives it up to Moreland. And another timeout for Scott to preserve the possession. Oh no, a foul. That's on Meadows, that's his fourth.
Number 2, Wyatt Moreland.
First shot no good from Moreland. Now, Morrison's not going to show up real big in the stat column, but he's definitely been a presence out there on the floor tonight for Fort Scott as he hits the second. He's got 6 points for the game. As Brown will check out, gets a high five from Coach Feeback. And that'll bring Paxton Leisure, 5'10" sophomore, into the game. Isaiah's shot no good, gets his own rebound because he followed his shot, and the putback is good for Isaiah. He's got 2. Dragons trailing it by 15, and there's going to be a foul on Miller. That's Miller's first. I had him with one, so I gave him somebody else's. Under 30 seconds to play. Marlowe at the free throw line to shoot 2. Getting set to check in the game for Fort Scott is Leighton Johnson. He's 6'1" junior. Marlowe hits the first. And Marlowe's had a good game as well. He's got 15. 12 of those coming in the first half. Trying to make it 16 right here. And he does. Marlowe will sit. Johnson into the game for Fort Scott. So I think the lone senior out right now is Moreland. Isaiah comes away with a rebound into the corner to Wyatt Thomas. Bounce pass to Moss. Shot is good and the foul.
Good connection from Wyatt Thomas and Moss there.
His first personal. Substitution for the Tigers, number 4, Jackson Shepherd. At the line for the Purple Dragons, number 35, Caitlin Moss.
Shot off the back iron. Moss has 4. And the Dragons not going to foul. They're just going to let time run out here. That's going to do it. Fort Scott comes away with a 71-56 win over the Dragons. Fort Scott improves to 6-2 on the season. Dragons fall to 6-5. We'll step away for a quick break. We'll be back with the post-game show. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com. From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
Welcome back to Pittsburg High School. Dragons fall tonight 71-56 to the Fort Scott Tigers. The Dragons fall to 6-5 on the season, 3-2 in SEK League play. Fort Scott improves to 6-2, 3-1 in league play. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the scoring totals for tonight's game. First, for the victorious Fort Scott Tigers, they're led in scoring by Kanan Brown. He had 25. Drayden Marlowe with 16. Dirks Kegler was 16. Tyler Anderson was 7. And Quade Moreland with 6 to round out the scoring for Fort Scott. For the Dragons, they're led in scoring by Jamarcus Davis, who had 25, but he was the only Dragon scoring in double figures tonight. Next up was Danny Durden with 7. Malachi Meadows was 6. Caden Navaratnam with 5. Damon Moss had 4. Gabe Cox with 3. And EJ Isaiah with a bucket to round out the scoring. And Zay Miller, also with a bucket. And Landon Jesse with a bucket to round out the scoring for the Purple Dragons. And Fort Scott, just a good-looking team coming in here tonight, and they executed on both ends of the floor. And the Dragons, real hard time scoring points tonight against their defense, and a real hard time getting shots to fall in this gym. And that's been the story all season for the Dragons. And I'm serious. We can get a priest in here and exercise this place and see if the Dragons can see those shooting woes go down. Let the players watch him exercise this place so they know there's no actual demons in here. And maybe the shots will start to fall, Whatever it takes. That's my motto. But tonight the Dragons fall 71-56 to the Fort Scott Tigers. And back in action, Friday night on the road at Labette County. The girls' game to tip at 6 o'clock. Our pregame coverage will start at 5:30. The boys' game will follow. We'll have that for you here on Pittsburgh Sports Live. Let's go ahead and just take a break, and we'll come back, see if Coach Moss is going to make it. If not, we'll put a bow on it from here in Pittsburgh, and we'll see you on Friday night. But for right now, you're watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Thanks to your support, Kenora Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Kenora Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's vision.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings, chicken and noodles, and so much more. And of course, their delicious homemade pies. Dine in or carry out available. Chicken Annie's of Girard has the best value, flavor, and service in the area. Stop in soon or call for catering. 620-724-4090.
Our whole vision of becoming the four-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburg.
Hey, welcome back to Pittsburg High School. Dragons fall tonight 71-56 to the Fort Scott Tigers. And right now we're joined by Dragon head coach Jesse Moss. And coach, that's a good team. Yeah. I mean, they had several, looked like everybody could hit shots from the outside. They had good size. They played pretty good defense. They executed offensively. I mean, they played a good game tonight, and you kind of take the hats off to the opponents. But shots just didn't fall for anybody, it seemed like, except for Jamarcus tonight.
Yeah.
And just a rough night, man.
Yeah, one of those nights where it's, and this is inexcusable on my part. I think it was just one of those nights where we weren't prepared. Now, whether that was we didn't have enough energy, whether that was us not being ready to execute the game plan, we weren't prepared, and that's my fault. So I will say this, our guys didn't give up, but we got to do something about us getting in our feelings. And I think that's a very common thing with high school kids. So when things are going well for us, we have great energy. We're excited for our teammates. When things aren't going good for us, it's real easy to just do the complete opposite. So that starts with me and my demeanor, how I talk to the guys. So that's on me to worry about fixing. And we'll get it fixed. I'm not worried about it. It was a good team tonight. Coach Feedback's a great guy, great coach. So we lost to a team that played the better game tonight, but I definitely don't think they were the better team.
Yeah, Coach, I mentioned it earlier in our broadcast. You guys 1-4 at home this year, 5-0 on the road.
Yeah.
And I said
have
before,
we won a home game this year? I think we're 0 for at home, brother.
You think you're 0 for at home? I thought you won a home game.
I think we're 6-0 on the road.
Well, according to Max Preps, you're 1-4 at home.
Okay.
But you can't trust Max Preps. But anyway,
no, you can't.
I thought, well, maybe a way around this, other than getting a priest in here to exercise the gym, would be to get the guys on a bus, drive around for an hour, and then come back here and play a game.
I was rewatching the Chanute game on YouTube like I always do, and I heard you say that, and I was like, that's not a bad idea.
Not the worst idea.
But no, man, like it's one of those things. I think tonight we tried to play a cool brand of basketball too, show out for all the fans that were here, and we're not good enough to play a cool brand of basketball. We got to play a tough, gritty, hard-nosed brand of basketball. So with that comes a whole lot of stuff that we didn't bring tonight, but we'll be better moving forward. We'll have the guys ready to go on Friday against Labette County.
Well, hey, luckily that one's on the road.
Yeah,
and it's at Labette County. What do you know about the Grizzlies? Have you had a chance to look at them at all?
Yeah, so anytime you have a super successful football season, a successful basketball season is bound to follow. So I've watched the tape on them. They got a couple of kids that probably I don't think we're planning on playing, but Coach Argerbright probably talked them into coming out after their football season. But man, they were super solid. They beat Chanute 2 weeks ago by 2. Had a real close one with Fort Scott. I think us, and honestly every team in our league, anybody can beat anybody on any given night. So if we don't bring our best stuff, we're not going to put ourselves in a position to be successful.
All right, Coach. Well, I sure appreciate you coming up here and talking to us after this tough one, and look forward to seeing you Friday night
God
in
bless,
Altamont.
Brother. Yep, thank you.
All right, that's head coach Jesse Moss of the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. They fall tonight, 71-56, and like you said, just kind of jumped on early because they didn't come out with the same energy that Fort Scott did. We'll hope that the bus ride over to Independence helps everybody get focused and ready to play for next Friday night. But I think that's going to do it for us here in Pittsburgh. As a matter of fact, they're starting to turn the lights out in the gym, as you can probably see on the screen. So for Michael Kissel, I'm Josh Lettner saying thanks for joining us. We'll see you Friday night in Altamont. You've been watching Dragon Basketball on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.